We're going to Florida, and we're going to bring you back a victory to Jackson. Yeah. God the yard!
What you say now, Chuck? Man, you a plumb fool, man.
Get it. Get it. Plum fool.
Chuck, you a plum fool. Chuck a plum fool. That's all it is.
Chuck, all them Chucks in Jackson, they plum fools.
He's a good man, though, I'm sure. Hey, welcome to another live episode of the O&G Strike Zone. I'm Brian Fulford. That's Kelvin Rozier, soon to be joined by Marcus Green. And we are just three brothers on the mic, three rattlers on the mic. And it's good to be back on live with you. How you doing tonight, Kelvin?
Man, I'm doing good, man. As I was mentioning off air, man, I love these kind of shows when you got athletes, student athletes, and parents, man. This, to just get their perspective on things and put a little shine on them, man. I love it. That's what I live for. I'm all about the student athlete experience anyway. So absolutely, I'm geek for this show.
There you go. Go ahead and cross that off if you had that on your bingo card, student athlete experience. That's one of the things we're gonna have to come up with, a bingo card. So that way, these little catchphrases and little things, when they hit, you can just go ahead and yell out bingo or take a shot. Every time you hear self-inflicted, that's what we got. Every time you hear someone say self-inflicted, take a shot, and we just keep it going. So yeah, man, it's good to be back on with you folks. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. A full lineup, full stacked house of guests coming up at the bottom of hour one. We're going to talk to a repeat appearance from the mother of QB1. Mrs. Erica Moussa is going to come back and join the show. It's a bye week, so we can get a chance to kind of hear her perspective, and hear, and get a chance to kind of talk with her and just kind of, maybe get the inside scoop on some things that we normally don't get or we won't get because, of course, QB1's got to be tight-lipped. He's got to give the company line, and not gonna say too much. Don't want to get the crowd. Don't want to get the media. No bulletin board material, stuff like that. But we can talk to mom and we can get the real scoop. So it'll be good conversation with her. And then we got a pair of guys that we've been waiting to have on the show and talk with. First up at the top of hour two, Kardell Thomas. Hey, look, talk about a homecoming. Kardell got a chance to go back home, and it was probably everything he imagined it would be as FAMU came out victorious back in his hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hey, as a matter of fact, he went to Southern Lab, so.
Well, hey, so we get a chance to talk to him about all that. And then at the bottom of hour two, number 25, Lelan Wilhoite. I like to think of Lelan as the X factor. He could be the X factor. I still go back to what I saw that young man do in the spring game a couple years ago, and before he got hurt last season. And so he's part of the Tote gang and that running back core, which is loaded. So we're gonna get to find out from him, how are they managing? Because I think a lot of people have expectations of the running game, and it's not that we don't have talented running backs. We got very talented running backs, a talented offensive line. So we're gonna find out what's what and talk to Lelan. So it'd be good to talk to a pair of student athletes and talk to Erica Moussa as well. Let me quickly go through some shout outs, as you guys have been great about jumping in early, watching us on Facebook and YouTube. make sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit the like button wherever you're watching us. First in the building, Tremaine Ellis, first one in via YouTube. How you doing, Tremaine? Good to see you. Kenneth Rozier jumping in right afterwards.
What up, cuz?
Yep. Oh, look at here. Melissa Wilson coming in. Nice and hot.
Happy
All right.
homecoming. Happy homecoming. It's the high homecoming.
It's homecoming for the high. All right. That's what's up. Good stuff. Jimmy Mack coming in. It's a bye week.
What's
for
up,
the
J Mac?
What do you say here? What's up, Kenneth Rozier? Bye versus FAMU is going into the last half, the second quarter. All right. Bull coming in. Bull.
What's up, Bull?
Yeah. I'm just gonna put that. I'm just gonna leave that there. No comment. No comment. I'm gonna put it out.
Hey, you sipping? I'm a sip.
Yeah, we just gonna sip. Yeah, just let that stay out there for a second. Mary 305. Good to see you. Jimmy Mack said he's hanging out with Sam. Uh-oh, trouble. Watch out.
Did say.
Kenya Sykes checking in. Good to have you on. Tamara T also checking in. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Marcus. Hello, Marcus. Good to have you in. Doc, good to see you. Dr. Lori
What's
Wilson.
up, Doc?
Of course, always there to make sure you see any folks come in that want to start something, won't be nothing. So Doc will put them down if they get out of hand. So keep it clean in the chat room, especially on YouTube. Have fun, but don't get ridiculous there. Let's see who else we got. Coming through. Just scanning through. Did I say Meredith? Meredith, hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
What's up, Meredith?
You. Yep. Montre Bennett coming in. Ashton Harris coming in. Good to see you, Ashton. Hello.
What's up, Ashton?
Mr. Campbell coming in. Yeah.
What's up, Iwee?
The 5 stages of grief. Yes.
Denial. Some of them still on denial. I see a Jag here talking about later this season they're gonna get their get back. We'll get to them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Rick Kinsey checking in.
What's up, Rick?
All right. Good to see you. Welcome on. What is this? Tallahassee 4-0 against Baton Rouge in the last 2 years.
He's talking about both teams.
Both teams. Okay. All right. Yep. Mac Webb, another one bites the dust. Yes, indeed. Good to see you guys all jumping in. John Taylor checking in. Good to have you. Coach Rossi.
What's up, Coach?
Thanks for coming in, Coach.
There you go.
Williams.
I hope so, though. I would love for the Jazz to come to Bragg Stadium, Ken Riley Field in December. And bring the band with you this time.
No excuses, right? Bring the band. Well, I'd love if we had, I'm not going to get into that, but, it would
have been nice. With that environment, man, and it probably would have brought in a few more thousand fans, too.
Yeah, the whole band thing seems to be one, and I think maybe it's because of this new heightened sense that we all have with this Band of the Year competition and all that stuff.
It's fine. It's financial, but I think it behooves the SWAC to work with institutions to try to encourage and minimize costs so that rivalry games like this, that you have the bands involved, because that's what makes it special. That makes the environment and being in the SWAC what it is. When you have also you have the game and you have the game outside of the game in the stands. So yeah, I hope they find a way to make that work where at least all these rival games that teams can afford to travel.
Right. Let's see. Chuck Hunt checking in from Monroe, Louisiana. Yeah.
What's up, Chuck?
Good to see you. Thanks for coming
in.
I'm
waiting for Chuck to say he's checking in from Seattle, Washington, or somewhere else. You don't travel, Chuck?
Chuck knows where. Chuck like I gotta be near the computer. Gotta be where I'm at. Be where I be. The voice of the Rattlers checking in.
What's up, Melvin?
Hey, good to have you on. We gotta make an appointment to get Melvin in here.
Absolutely.
To give us, I know sometimes he's busy with other obligations with the university. So we got to find a way to coordinate that one of these days, Mr. Beal. We got to get you in here and we can talk and get your perspective. We always like to hear from the people who are covering FAMU 24/7, 365, and that definitely is you. 80 Drew checking in.
What's up, Drew?
G Boom checking in. Now, G Boom, one of the of course, looking forward to that PV matchup.
Yes, sir. Homecoming, baby. Come on, get some.
Now G Boom will be on the field as a photographer. He will be on the field. All I'm gonna tell you is keep your eye out for the distraction committee there, G Boom. Now, don't you go get distracted.
Man, go and get your. Hey, you might as well go and get your little, your little homecoming on. Get a distraction on, man.
All right, joining the show right now is our guy Marcus Green checking in. Marcus, good to see you, brother. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. A little late, but
that's all right. You working for the Lord.
Amen. We can't be, we on
right.
We on God's time.
Hey, you bringing on Christianity to the show. To us heathens.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, you working on God's time, so it's
almost let one slip on Saturday.
Oh boy, yeah, beautiful. Hey, all right, so let's get into this. Rattlers with a big win in the Bayou, 26-19 victory over Southern. Rattlers improved to 5-1 overall, 4-0 in the conference. Another road win, another SWAC win. I think we're up to about 11 consecutive SWAC wins, 8 consecutive road wins. Have not lost a game on the road nor at home in the conference. The 2 losses, of course, in the 2.5 seasons have all come at neutral sites. Outstanding debut in the conference. I mean, it's pretty doggone impressive. This game, of course, was built up because both teams were preseason.
First place.
Yeah, first place predictions. And what do you know, coming into it, you had Southern that was tied, unbeaten in the West, FAMU in first place in the East. And the game, though, as tough a game as it was, and my favorite phrase, winning is hard.
Yep.
It is hard. But and I'm thankful for a 7-point win. FAMU covered 4.5, so we covered expectation. But it didn't feel like the heavyweight match of, say, what was it when Southern came to FAM? That was 2019, I think it was, a couple years ago, or even maybe the last
21.
couple seasons. Well, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
Which one, the Xavier Smith catch?
Yeah, the
21.
Xavier Smith catch. The Xavier Smith.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just.
I think it was 19.
Yes,
I think it caught it from Stanley.
Yeah, it just the feel of the game, the feel and the flow of the game was just different. We had a chance, obviously, we did a little watch party thing, so we had a chance to all watch it live and together, and we've kind of had a chance to decompress from what we've seen. What are some things that you kind of are thinking about or have thought about, Kelvin, since the 2 or 3 days since the game?
I'm encouraged, Brian, because I had talked about, hey, there was a little controversy. People were a little nervous. I was interested. I knew, Southern has a top-ranked defense. They have a good environment there. So I knew it would be a challenge. And they scored first. And, there was some adversity during the game. And I like how the team responded to it, frankly. I needed to know that. I needed to see that. We went into the fourth quarter behind, and we scored the last 10 points. Our offense did what it needed to do on the drive, on the drives in the fourth quarter. Our defense did what they needed to do on the drives in the fourth quarter. And then, our special teams, which was my prediction, was a key factor in us winning that game. So, it still wasn't a clean game, and that's what I'm looking for. Not a perfect game. It's a difference. I think Rattler Nation, we get excited because we know the potential of this team. So we just want to see them play a clean game. We had drops. We still missed a couple of touchdown opportunities to Jennings. So you're gonna give up plays here and then. Southern has players. So, but overall I left that game encouraged where we was, because also with the play calling, I felt like we were playing to the strengths of what our offense can execute at high level. The short West Coast style passing game that became kind of our running game, and it was effective. Man, used the tight end a lot, masterfully actually. 11 different receivers. I came out of that game encouraged because I know this week we'll get healthier, and they'll work on scheming a little differently, I think, in the run game. And our team is tested, right? We done won games every kind of way. We done got off the fast starts. We done got off the slow starts. We done had to come from behind. That's all signs of a championship team. So I'm encouraged.
When you said clean, what defined clean for you? A clean game. What defined it for you?
Clean for me is not 100 yards of penalties. All right.
Is it the yards or the numbers? The yards and penalties, or the number?
Both.
What's the line? Is there a plus minus line?
Especially when it's like pre-snap, post-snap stuff, right? Okay. Late hits, unsportsmanlike, jumping off sides, false starts, those kind of things. If we play those clean games, and then when the opportunities exist where it's easy plays, the passes that some of the guys drop, the couple of passes to Jennings where we miss. Clean game for me is just executing at a level that where the routine stuff is routine. We haven't had 4 quarters of that yet. Actually, I don't think from an offense standpoint we've had more than 2 quarters of it. But we all know if we get it all together, get that run game going, man. I mean, it's fun now, but it's gonna be awesome if we can get there, and that's what I'm looking for. We're playing a little lesser competition. There'll be some opportunities to put some whoopings on some folks. I want to see 40-50. I want 40-50.
You'll never look.
I'm never giving up the dream. You ain't gonna dream. You ain't gonna kill my dream.
Okay. You won't. I won't be a dream killer. All right, Marcus. What are some things that you've been able to kind of take away over the last couple days, thinking back on that game?
Well, I guess the first thing, to echo Kelvin's point, we faced some adversity. We had a tie game late, and they pulled through. And so, going through a season like this where we have championship aspirations, everything, it's not going to be a cakewalk. And I guess Coach Simmons has already admitted we haven't seen a full 4-quarter performance by the talent and experience on this team. But even getting tested in a hostile environment of a team that's leading their division within our conference and having to persevere through all of that and everything that happened during the course of the game, we had some key drops that could have sustained drives, at least one on 4th down, and one that would have kept the drive alive, and we had to punt. And going through all that and then still being able to come out on top with a late game drive with under 7 minutes left in the game, and actually to score 10 points in the 4th quarter. That was huge, I think, for the team's confidence going forward. And as Kelvin has attested to before, we may have played all of our strongest competition in the first half of the season. And that's just based on record and perception of their projected win total and finish within the conference or the division. So I'm really pleased about that we show the resolve and constitution to be able to come through. And the other thing that I think hopefully we're working on is something I know Kelvin touched on a little bit before, is the penalties. And I was thinking about this during the game cast when you guys mentioned it, because I hadn't really checked. that we've slipped. We've slipped back to 2021 level. And even though that was a playoff season and we went 92, we were dead last in FCS in penalties per game and penalty yards total. And right now we are second to last through this game, with only Grambling being worse. So that needs to be cleaned up. And I was trying to find our roster roll up from the preseason, but with the number of seniors and graduate students that we have on on the team, it's a little bit surprising because we actually trended down for 2021. 2022 made some improvement. We moved up maybe 19 or 20 spots from where we were in 2021 when we do the year-to-year comparison. So I'm hoping that gets cleaned up going into the second half, because that's not sustainable, and that's something that we don't want. And dare it become a characteristic. We've seen it a couple years, and we don't want it to be a characteristic of the team and of the program. And hopefully it's just a one-off, but it's happening pretty often. But I was also buoyed by the performance of folks stepping up on Saturday, persevering through the change of quarters in the fourth quarter, and just having a couple calls that seemed a little shaky. I'm still not 100% convinced, based on the camera angle, that Southern actually scored their last TD. But
I see a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people.
Yeah, it just didn't look like they broke the plane, but they didn't have a good enough angle. But from the angle we did have, it looks like he got stopped like half a foot short. But
which again, it amazes
And that was
me.
a fourth down too.
If
Yes.
you're going to have instant replay and you're going to use instant replay, you must, it must be mandated that one of those doggone cameras, or actually two of them, need to be set up where? So they has a clear line of sight on the goal line.
Well, let me say this. When we were in the MEAC sent, I think we had to pay for them still, but the MEAC sent end zone cameras, and it was required in the MEAC for you to have those end zone cameras on the line. That was back in 2000, 17, 18.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you got to have those. I mean, I watch other, it's not, for the longest, it's one of those things that just baffles the mind that you have a game and you're going to go to replay and you have no clear shot across the goal line. All the other stuff is conjecture. It's subjective. Okay, did he get, you could pull out the distance markers, but half the time you don't see those come out. A lot of times the referees are eyeing them up. But when it gets to the goal line, you got to have something to be, if you're going to use replay. If you're not going to use replay, then don't have them. But if you're going to use the cameras and replays, you got to have them. You got to have them. I'm encouraged. Look, I just looked at a couple of numbers. Now, if I told you that the time of possession was 34 minutes and 54 seconds to 25:06, you would say, wow, that's nearly a 10-minute difference. That team who had 34 minutes, they must have ran the hell out of the ball. They must have chewed up the clock. And no, that's not us. We didn't do that. And a large part of that is because defensively, we held Southern to 2 of 11 on third down and 0 for 2 on fourth down. And this is why, if you look at those 3 plays, Southern had 3 or 4 good plays. So
explosive plays,
plays, right? And I'll even challenge a couple of those where our defensive players were there in the backfield. They just either ran into each other and missed the tackle. So there was maybe one play that I saw Southern actually run the offensive line, open up a nice hole, and the back was gone. There was maybe 1 or 2 of those. But for the most part, this defense was a wall. And that's the thing that is so encouraging about what we're seeing out there. And we thought this team and this defense was going to be better than what was it? 2021. 2021. I'm there. I'm there. They're proving it week in and week out that they are on the par. And I don't know statistically. Next week would be a good time to kind of show the comparisons as we're kind of in that bye week thing to kind of look at where that team was after 6 games, where this team is after 6 games.
Mhm.
But I think this team is right there on par.
Yeah, currently we're number 5 in total defense in FCS.
Yeah. I mean, I think
With 271 yards, 271.2 yards per game. And that's including the game against
South Florida.
USF.
Right. And then Kelvin, you talked about it as well. The passing game, the play calling right off the bat. First play was a quick three-step drop, hit a guy on a slant route. Boom. That's how I knew this game was going to be like, okay, QB1's ready. He's there. The play calling's right. And hey, look, Kelvin and I hit on some bold predictions. Kelvin, I don't have the video, but I posted it online.
Yeah.
What was your bold prediction again?
I said that the difference in the game was going to be special teams, and there was going to be a special team score, which was the 2-point conversion. Plus, if you add the 2 points where we blocked, that's 4-point difference. And then the muff punt that SU had turned into a touchdown for us also.
Yep.
So special teams was the difference.
Yep. And of course, your boy, what did I go with? I was so specific.
300 over 320 plus yards.
Over 320 and even what was funny about that? What was funny is you were like, "Wow, that's bold." I said, "That's the name of the segment, baby. Bold predictions."
Look at it.
I'm gonna go find the video. You know I got to play the video clip. 325, 31 of 54, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. But I mean, more importantly, that was one of the top passing performances in all of Black College football. Thanks to I saw on the Black College Sports page that does a listing of everybody, most completions, most attempts. And I know a lot of us are like, oh, that's too much passing. That's too much. Man, look, this is what I said on Sunday. We are who we are. Mm-hmm. I am done trying to force a square, what is it? A circle peg in a square hole. Coach, or well, maybe it's the other way around.
Peg in a
whatever. You know
we got
you. Hey, Coach,
shape.
Shotgun is going to shotgun. That's what he's going to do. So ride or die. We just got to deal with it. If anything, the pass is going to set up the run, and that's what Coach is going to do. The pass is going to set up the run. I know everyone is going to be like, oh, it should be the other way around. Look, that's not what that. Let's accept the reality of what we are. Everybody just accept the reality. And the reality is Coach Simmons as a quarterback, he has a passing game and a system. He's got receivers. How many receivers did we throw to today? Like 11?
11. We had 11 different receivers catch the ball. Yeah.
Guys all over the place running free. I mean, and he has a defense. So that's going to be the system. So let's face the reality of what we are, and let's stop asking for something else. Because I tell you what,
I agree. Hey, I actually agree with you. That West Coast offense, short passing game. I mean, that's the magic. Get the ball to the playmaker's hand quickly, and let them do what they do after with the runs after catch. I agree. That's our formula.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Well said. I love more. Anybody want to give me more praise for my bold prediction? I'm here to take it. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. Come up. We got QB1's mom, Mrs. Moussa, coming on up. We're gonna talk about what's going on. What's it like as mom? QB1 when you're listening and you're watching and you're hearing, and let's just see how moms deals with all of it. So we're going to find out from her coming up. And then don't forget, hour 2, we got our 2 Rattlers coming in. We got Big Kardell Thomas coming in at the top of hour 2, followed by Lelan Wilhoite. So go tell a friend, hit the share, and let Rattler Nation know. We got a lot of FAMU talk coming up here in the next 2 minutes. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and And follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
I'm returning to Clinton Parish, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Parish, we take the pain out of being hurt.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Marcus. Just got to play this one good time for everybody, just in case you didn't hear it. I'm
plum fool. You a plum fool.
Moussa. Plus 320 yards passing.
Ooh.
Yep, I said it. Marcus, see? I said it. Look at you. Doubt it. That's the name of the segment. The name of this, that's called bold prediction. And 2 touchdowns, at least 2 touchdowns. You're gonna see. I'm gonna be like Coach Simmons. That's my quarterback.
I hope so.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. All right. Well, that's my quarterback, but more importantly, this her son.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, Brian, Kelvin, Marcus? Thanks for having me on again.
No, thank you for coming on. We love it.
Hey, Brian, right on with your prediction. We were but somebody, I'm not gonna say, look a little bit,
nervous,
a little doubtful, a little nervous. So how you feel today?
Hopeful. Somebody was hopeful.
Okay. I'm just gonna call you out. I'm like, okay, Kelvin wasn't on board with that prediction. Okay.
I'm on the train.
I was happy to see the guys talk on the field and get it done. Stop listening to any noise that's going on and just talk on the field. So it's a hard-fought game.
Yes.
You got to be obviously used to this from the standpoint of when you have a son that's a quarterback, just very much like a head coach gets sometimes more criticism than is deserved and probably maybe gets more praise than he should. It's a team game, but that's just the nature of being the head coach and being the quarterback, a QB1, so to speak. So how do you process that as a parent, as a family? What's that like for you and for the Moussa family?
Well, first, it's an honor. It's an honor for him to even have the opportunity to lead such a tradition-based, fan-supported program as FAMU. So let me say that it's an honor. But as a mother, when you start hearing the chatter, oh yeah, it's tough because the mama bear in me wants to say, well, who are you going to criticize my baby? What are you doing, you bunch of couch coaches? When's the last time you dedicated your life to a sport and worked your ass off every day? Oh, but then I have to say, okay, wait a second. Let me take it back a little bit. I'm a sports mom, and I know with him being in that position, you know, he's a quarterback. My daughter's a pitcher. There's a highly stressful positions, and it's all the glory or all the blame. So when you think about it, okay, that calms me down. Okay, take it back there, Mom. Just kind of calm down. Okay. So, but it's tough, but pressure is a privilege. And if he wasn't doing anything, then there'd be nothing to talk about. So we're thankful that he's in the position to take the criticism. But, you know, with the kind of player that he is, he blocks out all the noise. He listens to his coaches, he listens to his teammates, he listens to his family. Everything else is blocked. So you know that whatever chatter's going on, he's not participating in it, he's not reading it, and it doesn't affect him. So
I love that phrase. Pressure is a privilege. I gotta use that with my when I get basketball season a few weeks away. So I start my season. I'm gonna have to put that one somewhere in the room, and really use that. And so Kelvin or Marcus, before we go to you, let me ask a question. It brings up the mental, you know, a lot is being made these days of mental health for student athletes. And you mentioned your daughter's a pitcher. What kind of things do you do for them, or what kind of things, where do they find their peace? Where do they find their comfort as, you know, a pitcher or as a quarterback of a team? Where do they find that that peace and calm when it's needed?
Well, number one, knowing that your family loves you and supports you no matter what. You know, it's not based off of how you perform on the field or how you do. No, you know, it's going to be some highs and some lows. And, but most importantly is knowing that your coach believes in you. So knowing that your coach believes in you, even when you're going through the rough times or rough patches, that's huge, because we've seen both sides of the coin. And when they're going through that rough patch, and they don't have the support, or they're yanked, you know, they're not allowed to work through it. So that makes them even just tighter and second guess even more. So knowing that your coach is backing you 100%, that's huge. So
nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So we got a chance to see you and the crew at the on OBC, and then I know you all went to the USF game. Tell me how you enjoyed Florida and those games in those pro venues, and then talk about, you know, what your schedule going to look like for the rest of the season. What's on the travel schedule?
Yeah, no, it was awesome to go and meet you guys in person. I know we didn't get to see Marcus, but you know, Kelvin and Brian, to meet you guys out there, and what a great opportunity, you know, of starting the season off with getting that monkey off our back by beating Jackson State. It was we can breathe, you know, right? But amazing time with the family in Miami, you know, doing some sightseeing, and then heading over to Tampa, enjoying Tampa, and then, you know, getting to play in the professional stadiums back to back. You know, how lucky are these guys to have that opportunity? But, you know, unfortunately, that wasn't the outcome that we'd hoped. But we put up a damn good fight again there. Yes. Mm-hmm. And who knew that we would outscore Alabama the following week? So
that's right.
Yes, we were, you know, sad with our loss, but we put up quite the fight if we could outscore Alabama. So it's like, we're doing something right?
Yep.
We're doing good. We're a tough team. And so for this season, I'll actually be out in Houston for Texas Southern with some family. And then we'll be out for homecoming, and then we'll be out again for senior night. And then for
Go ahead and say it. Speaking into
Yes,
existence.
say it.
Yep.
Say it.
Yes, and then we are going to Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes, yes.
We'll see you there.
That's in the plan. That's in the plan. So
All right.
Speaking it into
Love it.
existence. Amen.
Love it.
Marcus,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, Ms. Moussa, I wanted to ask, I guess for the family, but also for Jeremy, with the changes that have happened over the last couple of years in college football and specifically with say NIL and the transfer portal, how have you guys managed through? Because he actually started his collegiate career before there was the advent of NIL. So how do you manage someone who has such a high profile position to be able to navigate through those type things, anyone approaching you in that regard, or opportunities that come, and having the discernment to know what looks good or what feels good versus something that may or may not be as good as it looks?
you know, he's had some things, but I don't even really get into that, you know, with him. He's had some opportunities that, you know, he may take up or not, but between, you know, him and his girlfriend Kyla, they're the ones that kind of handle all that business. So but you also mentioned transfer portal as well. You know, that's really changed the nature of the game. And you see over the last couple years how you know, the first time he was at first started at Hawaii, and then you know, at that time, if you wanted to transfer, you had to sit out a year if you go from D1 program to D1 program. So he would rather bet on himself, go back home to junior college, than sit out and wait another year at another D1 program. He said, I already sat out 1 year, I can't sit out 2. So, you know, if that time, that's a different trajectory. So that wasn't even an option. So, you know, it's totally changed the landscape of college football, and it's only growing every year. I forget what the numbers were this past season, how many thousands of kids that were seeking a new home. And, you know, it's tough. It's tough. You know, you see Jeremy's road, how, you know, this is his 5th year is when he finally got the opportunity. So it's a long road. So, but yeah, the whole landscape has changed.
Okay. I think we might have lost a couple of viewers when you mentioned Jeremy has a girlfriend, so we have to we have to pull him back in. But thank you for answering the question.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And I love those jerseys that you guys had on. I think Kyla had you. I think you had mentioned Kyla had done a good job of putting that together. And I tell you, there's opportunity there, Kyla. If you're watching, you and Jeremy figure out a way how to replicate those. You know, FAMU Rattler Nation, they'll eat that stuff up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask. I was going to ask about, and I had it on the tip of my tongue. I can't. It's odd. I can't even process where I was going to go with the thought. As you look at this upcoming, it was Xavier Smith and his mom. They were out in California. That's where I was going to go with that. You had a chance to meet, and obviously you probably know Xavier's mom and family and Xavier and everything. So he's playing for the Rams. His family was out there. I think it was at a preseason game when you got a chance to go. Has there been any? Have you stayed in touch? Is he? Has there been any checking in on him to see how he's doing? What? Just kind of maybe give us an update, or either from that time and since any communication with Xavier out there living in California.
Yeah, he's doing great. You know, my husband and I, we decided to go to training camp day. It's they had training camp in Irvine, California, which is maybe half an hour from our house. So I want to go see Zay. So we went and actually got to see in action, you know, Coach KJ Black and then Zay after. But it's such a crazy event. There's so many people. You know, we kind of stayed after and kind of watched some of the kids I shouldn't say kids, some of the players, you know, getting some extra reps, and there's Zay out there. So we're like, Zay, we came just to see you, man. So he was real happy. But no, I just told him at that time, you know, was your mom able to come yet or anything? And she's not yet, but she was going to go to some preseason games. I said, hey, if, you know, you ever need anything out here in LA, just, you know, get in touch and, you know, I'll help you out. So he reached out, you know, and, you know, let me know his mom was coming out. So got to see him and his mom a couple times and spent some time and, you know, support, go to the game. So good stuff. We're just so excited to see him get his opportunity and, you know, get his foot in the door. And his number, I bet it's called sometime this season. So we're real excited to see him shine and flourish. But it was great to catch up with him and his mom.
I was going to ask in terms of Jeremy, and you know, obviously we got to finish out this season, but this is his last year eligibility of playing, and the future is there. I mean, and maybe, I don't know if these conversations have happened in terms of you and him, or if I know obviously his focus is probably on this season, the here and now, but professionally playing quarterback, you know, at the next level somewhere is probably something that he wants to do, correct?
Almost definitely. That's always been the plan. And, you know, we're just hoping for the opportunity for him. It's something that he's dreamed about since he's a little kid. And, you know, just the experience that he's gotten, the exposure that he's gotten with some of the, you know, the UNC game, the USF game, you know, all the ESPN televised that are, you know, nationally distributed. He's gotten, you know, a lot of looks. And, you know, like Coach Willie said, there's, you know, scouts coming through all the time. And, you know, so that makes us real hopeful. We don't feel like we're, you know, it's a shot in the dark. It's a almost tangible possibility for him. And we have every confidence in him and the team that they'll allow him to, that will be the next chapter. So yeah, he's all in. He wants to see how far he can take it. And we can't wait to watch him see him do it.
Right. Go ahead, Kelvin. Marcus, any final questions you guys want to get in there?
I want to give mom the opportunity to brag on both her children. Jeremy actually is leading the SWAC in most of the passing categories. We're 5-1. We see at the top of the East. We're nationally ranked number 16 in the nation. So in spite of some chatter, this has been thus far a very successful year. Just give me your impression, your take, and then to talk about what's going on with your daughter and how she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, again, you know, chatter, people are going to talk. If you're not doing anything, there's nothing to talk about. So, you know, again, we're just real thankful for him to have the opportunity. But yeah, when you look at it and you kind of dissect it, take a step back, and it's like, okay, the numbers they're not lying. They're doing something right.
All right.
And individually, okay, he's doing okay. So relax, we're good. Have faith, right? Turn the negativity into prayers, and encouragement. You put good karma in the world, right?
That's right.
Well, we're on the path. It may not be perfect, but who's perfect, right? You look at the Super Bowl defending quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. I watched him throw 2 interceptions to the Jets last week, right? And arguably one of the other best, Josh Allen, he threw 3 picks to the Jets the first game. So
he sure did.
You gonna get rid of them? No, you let them work it out. So
yes, I knew you would deliver.
Yes, I'm not shy.
See, what's funny is when I say that, I get hate mail. You know, I get all kinds of stuff on Twitter. You say it sounds so much better, but I say it, and it's like. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm not trying to be, you know, off-putting or, you know, upset or, you know, be rude. But criticism is good. But some of the stuff kind of crosses the line and it's too much, right? When I got people saying, okay, you know, slap Moussa, or what he got some Casamigos in his water bottle. I mean, come on, man. That's somebody's baby, right?
Right.
I mean, you can talk stuff. Everyone's gonna talk. Don't get me wrong. We say stuff and we're yelling and screaming at the TV too, but it's because we care and we're passionate.
Right.
So turn the negativity to praise and prayers and good karma. Put it out there. That's how we're gonna get to the Celebration Bowl, when everyone's behind and wanting to get to that destination. So
okay, and your daughter.
We're doing good. We're happy to see him being successful and doing well. Same thing, my daughter, junior year, they're just getting started in their season and, just starting, getting the rust off from last year and putting the work in. But one thing I will say, both of my kids, they work their ass off, okay? You only see what they're doing on the field. You don't see the work that we put in every day. My daughter, all summer, lifting weights with me all summer. Like, it's dedication all the time.
Right.
And both of them are obsessed with the game. They're obsessed with attaining perfection. So if you think you got somebody that's kind of, half-assing it or just kind of, no. Jeremy puts in the work relentlessly. So if any, they say, oh, he's not this enough, he's not that enough, he's not, what was one? He was not excited enough.
He got receipts.
He got receipts. Well, I love it.
I don't respond, and I'm not going to get into a Twitter fight,
Right.
But that's the mama bear in me. I can't not have an emotion about it, right?
Right.
But then you got to step back and then, okay, take a breath. This is ultimately a great learning lesson. Yeah. Because if if he's lucky enough to continue to go on, it's only going to happen on a much bigger scale. And we're watching this happen right now with Jordan Love with Green Bay. Jeremy trains with the same trainer that grew up training with Jordan Love. So he was doing real good the first couple games, and they were praising and doing real well. But then, okay, after last night, this morning, what's the talk? Oh, is he good enough to be the franchise quarterback? So it's like, you know what? Sometimes they love you, sometimes they hate you. That's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
What can you do? If you're strong enough to be in that position, lovely, right? If you're not, you need to get out the kitchen. You can't handle the heat, right? But my son has been raised under pressure his whole life. Nothing has come easy. Nothing. So if you see him or you think like he's not excited enough or whatever, Jeremy is so prepared. He doesn't have to get high or low. He's like this the whole time. He's calm, cool, professional, locked in. That's what you're getting. So if you're not seeing him yelling and screaming, whatever, no, he's like this all the time because he's locked in. So just know, if you want anybody leading you, Jeremy is amazing.
Hey,
so get on the train and get with us and not against us.
Hey, look,
love it, Mama.
FAMU prepares you. Look, FAMU will prepare you for the next level, whatever it is, good and bad. FAMU will prepare you. So, hey, all this criticism is part of the position.
Yes, and I want to reiterate, I don't want to be offensive to anybody. I'm not, calling anybody out. It's a lot to deal with when you got,
Mama being mama.
Back, take a breath, and it's good.
There you go.
Yes.
This is. I love your authenticity. You are who you are. You have a great way articulating things, and I just appreciate you coming on the show and sharing.
Well,
with
thank you. No, Kelvin, I appreciate the opportunity, and we had the opportunity. We're real, We're not trying to showboat or that's my kid. No, we're just hardworking, humble people, and we're just super proud of our kids and what they're doing and what they earned on their own. We were not, kissing some coach's ass to get on the team. No, they earned it on their own, and they can be proud that they did it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. Well said. I want to give you any final shout outs or anybody you want to shout out before we head to commercial break.
No, again, I'm just thankful for the opportunity. And again, my kids will laugh, like, why they want to talk to you? I hope I entertained you a little bit, but
no, you're great. Like I said, it was cool actually getting a chance to talk to Jeremy at SWAC Media Day. He got it, him and Javen. I got a chance to talk to him, and he was laughing. So I mean, it's good. So now we got to get Jeremy. We got to balance it out now, because he'll be like, you didn't have my mom on the show twice, and you've only had me on once. So we got to figure out a way how to balance it out. So we'll do that here before too long. So,
well, are you guys going to be out in Houston?
I will. Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in Houston, Kelvin, and then I'll see you guys in Tally for homecoming.
Yes,
all
indeed.
right.
Yes,
Looking
forward
to it.
Make sure you guys make sure you follow when you see the number 8 in the family of jerseys. Make sure you give a shout out to the Moussa family when you see him out there in Texas. Those of you, and when you see him at homecoming, you can always hit up. Give your Twitter handle out, because I know it's a good follow on social media. What's your follow there?
Oh gosh, what is it?
I think it's at Erica Moussa.
At Erica Moussa, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
At Erica Moussa 1.
All right, so you guys make sure to hit her up. Tell her you appreciate her coming on.
Yes.
Let them know how big of a fan are you, son. Even if you don't 100 buy in, just tell her anyway, because that's the guy that's going to lead us to where we need to get to. So just again, hey, thanks again for coming on. We appreciate you. We'll see you down the road. Safe travels to Texas, and on. Tell the rest of the family hello. All right.
I will. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of the show.
Thank you. All right. Hey, coming up right after this break, we got our big fella Kardell Thomas coming in. We're gonna find out what it was like to go home and eat. Bring some rattlers. Bring his band of rattlers in to Baton Rouge, and what that was like. I bet that was fun. I bet that had to be fun. So we're gonna talk to him on the other side. Make sure to share the show. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ONG StrikeZone. Hit the thumbs up and the like button wherever you're watching us, and get ready for the interviews coming up with Kardell Thomas and then Lelan Wilhoite at the bottom of hour 2. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Marcus. It's a pleasure to be joined by one Kardell Thomas, number 58, redshirt senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. First year here at FAMU. Kardell, thanks for joining us on the show. How you doing tonight? Take you off mute. You're on mute. Let's see if we can get you off mute.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep, we got you.
I'm
All
doing
right.
good. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, we doing well, man. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. All right. So look, Baton Rouge. You get a chance to go home. You're coming with your boys, your team, back to you. Just talk about that. Just all the stuff going into the week, the game, and after. Because I know it had to be a lot.
Well, like, you know what, for me, even making the move from FAM, over Southern, I heard flack from jump. So coming back home, the first, I think it was Monday, I get a text like from, Baton Rouge real close. So most of the coaches, I played with them in high school. They was older than me, but we was on the same team. And some of them just grew up together and they went to Southern Lab. So they text me, since you chose that flag, stay on that side. So, so when I got that text Monday, it kind of like put me in that mode, like, okay, like I see how they coming. So get to the game, man, it's automatic, love from jump, just from everybody, my community, but it's football. So I ain't really biting the cheese too much, but like during the game, Ivan said, you got TJ Lee, my brother, he at center, and he gonna always start it off. He gonna start the trash talking. So once he started trash talking, all my partners looking at me like, bruh, I'm like what y'all want me to do? So you know it, me and my partners who I grew up with playing with, we going back and forth, and then it just made the game interesting. And then that fourth quarter standoff really what like made us like, like, okay, like we here. And that's when I realized like I'm at home. Like, cause that was my first time playing in, Southern Stadium and then not being in high school. Cause that was our game for in high school. So being there in that environment, actually get experience in the jukebox and just experience us versus them, like it was crazy. It was unmatched. It was like anything I ever been in. And like I said, that fourth quarter light show, they turned the lights and did all that. That kind of made me like, okay, we need to go and close this game. So going out there that drive and putting them away, it was just crazy. We hit the gritty. We in Louisiana, so we just had fun with it. And then after the game, it was all love, and it was just, something like I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life, honestly.
Well, we're certainly glad that you got a win.
Yeah, most definitely.
Take us through that moment at the end of the third quarter, because we saw it when we were watching it. We were like, what in the world is going on? And then we heard the post game, Coach Simmons and Coach Dooley. You've heard the different comments from them, which are kind of funny. But as a player, when that happens, when the light goes out, just give us a sense of what was going on in your mind and your teammates' mind.
Oh, really? Well, for me, from jump, once I seen they got the lights, you know what I'm saying? Once I seen they even put them in, I was like, okay, I already know what this finna be for, So I was kind of already expecting something. But my teammates, like even when I first got here, Mara, our tight end, he was telling me, he was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, the one team I don't like, bro, he was like, it's Southern, bro. And I just made him say, I asked him, I was like, why Southern? He was like, bro, you gonna see. And that fourth quarter standoff, it told me everything about why they did not like him. You know what I'm saying? But it's all in football, though. But, like, but through our mind, we like, if they're going to run to the middle of the field, like, we ain't no punks. Like, we gonna go stand off and let them know. Like, and we was telling them straight up, we was like, y'all run to the middle of the field, we going to show y'all with this win. So, we came out with the win. They played a hard, tough game. But, just that kind of gave us a boost in energy. Like, it was like what we needed. Like, when another team, come across the field on, in the fourth quarter, like, that's almost kind of like they feel like they can walk over you. So we had to let them know, like, this ain't that at all.
I tell you what, see, y'all, I don't know, Kardell, I don't know if the guys told you about this, but y'all remember when Gremlin did that at home a couple years ago? during the homecoming game, and Grambling did. I don't know what it is about your brothers from Louisiana, but I mean it was like the whole Grambling sideline came across the field, and it was crazy how that happened. But anyway, I don't know that y'all just get down differently.
That energy, like one thing about Louisiana, like we feel like we the baddest, and like I said, like they was playing a good game, so like them walking to the field like made us like okay, like we gotta up the ante. So that's really what it was. But nah, ain't nobody telling about the grounding thing, but I ain't surprised.
All right, go ahead, Kelvin.
So talk about the first half of the season. We're 5-1. We had a pretty good showing against a group of 5 school in South Florida, and we control our own destiny. The season by all metrics pretty successful. How has the season gone for you? And then what is it going to take to close out and end where we want to be, which is celebrate a national champion, celebrate a Celebration Bowl victory?
Well, first with me, and coming through the season, for me, I just wanted to prove like I'm healthy. First part of my career, 2019, got injured. The year I won the championship at LSU, got injured, and from that point, just battling injuries. So for me, I kind of feel like I'm on the right track with proving I can be available and be healthy, and one just proving that like I'm dominant. So for me, really just making sure focus on the little things like my hands, my feet, everything, scouts and just, people want to see from me and just making sure I really maintain my weight, with what I'm eating and stuff like that, staying holistic, eating the right thing. So for me, it just really been focusing on like being a pro and having all, to make sure I got the right resources for the first time in my career where this is my first year starting and starting every game. So it's just making sure I'm handling everything like a pro. And as far as the team, what we gonna need to, to take it all away, really, is just I guess I can say sometimes getting out of ourselves and getting out our own way. Like we the best and we know it. And I feel like sometimes we get so excited to where we forget that we just need to execute, and that's on everybody. So, and at this point, after that last game, I really feel like we got a good sense of understanding, like what we can be, because it's like we always rise up, and we notice that. But now it's just time to rise up from the beginning and all the way throughout the end. And I feel like with this next game that's coming up in the bye week and us getting a lot of people back, like JG, C's came back last week, getting all these nicks and bruises off us. Now we really finna be a great and complete team, and we're gonna execute. That's all we really need to do. It's the little things like Coach Simmons and Coach Hen, and our coaches tell us every day. So right now we're working on the little things, and we're gonna get them right. And when we do, it's just gonna be crazy.
Okay.
Nice. Go ahead, Marcus.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I guess I want to ask you about your journey, going from LSU and then coming to FAMU, and how the transition, how it came about, but also what pluses and minuses you may happen to see with the transition, and how has it been coming to FAMU, given that you spend majority of your life in Louisiana, coming to Florida?
Oh, well, for me, my journey always kind of been, I kind of say I can always say I can been like the black sheep, the black wolf. Like no matter 5-star number 1 nation, I always had to prove myself. And I never had no problem with that because that's how I was raised. Like if you count me out, I'm going to count me in. And I always follow my feet. So for me, just my journey has just been, like I said, proving that I still am who I am. And I feel like this year I have been doing that. And just the transition, for me, I wanted to do something different. And I feel like I needed to get, real development. So really the whole point of me leaving and transitioning to FAM was just me going out on my own. Like I was supposed to go to some major schools. I had A&M, I had a couple other schools, and I couldn't win D1 again. But this time it was about like the life after football. Because just being honest, sitting in PWI, LSU for 4 years is bigger, but I'm sitting and I'm realizing like I'm kind of losing that life, if that makes sense. Like, when I hop out the portal, I'm learning about bank accounts and capital, you know what I'm saying, and getting a loan from the bank. And I'm realizing I'm sitting in college and I'm sitting, you know what I'm saying, at this university, but like nobody telling me that. Like I ain't learning that till I got out from under that. So that's when it was like, okay, this time I need to be around people that's gonna care about Kardell. So coming to FAMU was just like meeting the coaches and networking and meeting different people. It's into what I'm in, like with the farming that I do. My CBD company, sports medicine company. So it was kind of like setting life up with an opportunity to still go to the NFL is what led me here. So I did my research on this on FAMU and everything like that, and it fit me. And being here so far, the pluses is that it's like being at a HBCU make you man up, if it makes sense. Because at LSU,
Yep.
they're gonna do everything for you, everything like that. And I always been my own man, so like I ain't have no problem with that. So like coming here is almost like perfect for me because like they treat us like men. I ain't nowhere where I gotta worry about somebody worrying about where I'm going all the time. And it's just a sense of freedom here. So coming here really been a plus and stuff like that. Now obviously, what I'm saying, certain resources different, but I'm the type of person who I do different stuff anyway because I'm holistic. So it's not really a dropout because I kind of know what to do with my body with being here 4 years and stuff like that. So it's like I ain't the average athlete, coming from a PWI to HBCU because I'm kind of, like my own man. So coming here, just like I said, made me realize really too, you can make it from anywhere because we have scouts at practice all the time, and obviously I know why they there, So
Right.
and just like I said, actually coming to SWAC and experiencing the SWAC, it's something I wish I could have did probably earlier, honestly.
Well, thank you for your answer. Thank you for your candid and honest answer.
Yes, sir.
Let me continue on with, you mentioned a lot of holistic things that you have going on, and just, who got you into living a holistic life and just understanding the importance of taking care of your body and maybe getting away from some of probably the foods that a lot of us or a lot of maybe your peers grew up on, especially as athletes. Who got you on that path, and how are you making that work for you? And do you share any of this information with your teammates, and how are they receiving it?
Most definitely. So, first off, just give thanks to to the Most High, y'all, because I'm an Israelite. So studying, Leviticus and the dietary laws in the Bible led me to the holistic health. So studying them laws, were like, you're not supposed to eat pork, you're not supposed to eat unclean foods. And me being from Louisiana and getting deep in my spirituality, kind of led me to holistic health. So when I was in the port and stuff like that, just sitting at home, I had a couple of friends, they got a couple of vegan spots. And I just noticed, like, okay, when I cut out the pork, obviously, I started dropping my weight down. I never felt like, my blood pressure was high like it used to. Because, Louisiana down here, we going to season everything. You know what I mean? So, with us seasoning everything and stuff like that, it's just like, okay, I'm like, I need to take a step back. So really cut all that out, started noticing I'm waking up, my body don't feel like it's full of inflammation anymore. So that's just leading me to diving deeper, and then just, following the rabbit hole with it, reading books and different stuff like that, watching Dr. Sebi, different people like that. And I just really started like getting like, what I'm saying, like I said, heavy, and like I'm sitting here right now eating organic candy. So it's that's really what got me into it, just my spiritual journey and just seeing that it worked. And my teammates, they accepting it because like everything I'm doing, they trying to do it now. They like they waiting for my CBD cream right now. It just came in. So when we go, I'm gonna go home on the bye week, we're right in tomorrow, and go grab it and bring it back to them boys. But like really, they just been listening, they've been using it, and like, okay, it's working. So they just kind of been like looking to me for certain things. So it's cool. They just need to buy my products when they come out.
Yeah, you got the business down.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So I want to ask a couple of fun questions. Who's the biggest trash talker on the team?
TJ Lee, hands down. Hands down.
Okay. All right.
He like this. And this is why I love him. He the homeboy who, if you go to the club, you're gonna have to fight. That's why I love him. That's why he my dog. Cause he gonna stand up. It's like you on the offensive line, you could be quiet. If any D lineman talking noise to you, he finna hop in and go crazy. Like he like a real brother. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's TJ Lee for sure, and he funny, bro.
All right. Who's the biggest eater? Who eat the most?
I probably say it's between Chris Williams and KJ McCool. They both in our O-line room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And who's the most challenging player you've gone against, either on your own team or someone else's team thus far? This season.
This season, I'd probably say South Florida for sure. South Florida, they had some great guys, great speed rushers, with they scheme and stuff like that. And on my team, obviously, Jenna, Ashton, Stan, Dunn, the whole D-line. We got the best D-line in the nation. So every
Yes.
day, we just had a period today. And DK, the Clark Edwards, he got me on the side. He was running inside zone to the right. So, them guys always making me better.
Okay. All right. Good. I'll leave it right there now. You can go, Marcus.
All right. And actually, I was gonna hit him with a double question. That was gonna be my first one. What's it like going against the guys, defense that is at midseason ranked top 5 total defense? And my second question, and it's not really related, but you answer the first one, but the second one, if there was a team, even though our schedule's already set, if there was a team, if you could pick any team for you to play against this year, if you could say, okay, Kardell, pick any team, FCS, FBS, to just replace the team on our schedule, who would that be?
Let me think. Was one team. Okay. I'll probably say Alabama because the way they played USF after we played them.
Okay. Arizona, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's 17-3, and then us play. I kind of, what I'm saying. No matter what would have happened, just being honest.
Right. Yeah.
I just kind of want to see how we'll match up.
Okay. All right.
Especially right now and going late into the season with us being able to execute more and understanding each other more, most definitely right now.
Okay.
Obviously, Kardell, one of the things that from the offensive perspective, we are a lot of Rattler Nation. We want to see the ball. We want to see a lot of people want to run the ball. You hear a lot of that talk. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Now, I know there's a difference between run blocking and pass blocking, but what's the vibe like for the offensive line in terms of where we are this year with our running game? And obviously you guys have done a great job pass protecting, but just let people know kind of in the background, if you can, what it's like, maybe your personal preference, run blocking versus pass blocking, and maybe what can we expect in the second half of the season from the running game?
Well, with the running game, obviously, it'd be good. Sometimes we have our good plays, we have our bad plays. Obviously, sometimes we go 4 for 5. Sometimes it's it's a total offensive mistake. But as obviously it's getting better. With the runs we had, last game and a couple rushing touchdowns. But with us, open the offense up with more runs to get us, some good yards. We got to play. We got a couple plays, that's really gonna open up the run for real as soon as we, just make sure, everything right on the back end, and with, seeing the defensive schemes and stuff like that, and just the way we scheme people up in this second half. Like I said, the run game gonna open up totally, and it's gonna be, a whole new different line. And for us, like the room and where we stand, it's probably, talking to Coach Henry, things like that. It's just the best room we have, obviously, and like I said, getting a couple people back. Most definitely going to, make it 10 times better. And then we'll be able, have our full rotation, and then just be able, really skyrocket in the run rankings.
All right. Which one of the backs, who's the guy that you guys love? I mean, look, I don't know if I'm asking a loaded question here to say which running back do you like blocking for the most, or, who's the fun back? Because there's got to be usually a fun back, and there's maybe a more serious back. Who's the back that, when you guys open up the hole and he gets one, like he's showing love to you guys in a major way? Who's that guy?
The hype guy.
I mean, honestly, really, I really say probably all our backs, and I ain't even just trying to answer like that because like we close. Like you see, like Wu scored, yeah, right there. You know what I'm saying? Yan scored, Wu right there, Real scored, everybody right there. So like all them boys, they make sure we in check. So if we mess up, they get on us like, come on, I need y'all. And they mess up, it's vice versa, so it's a real love in the room. So I could probably say all of them because all of them play and all of them got the attributes that make us better the same way, we make them better. So they score, we turn up, the whole thing. I told them gritty in the end zone. So like I said, all of them fun and all of them, held me down with it. So that's what I can say to answer that.
All right. We want look. Kelvin want to see us score 40 a game. He want us to see us get to that point where everybody's doing the gritty like 5 times, 6 times a game.
Yeah, we most definitely do that.
We gotta.
Kardell, I know you graduated this summer, right? And but talk about what you got your degree in first, and then talk about your business ventures a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I got my degree from LSU in interdisciplinary studies, and for my businesses, right now I own a farm. And actually, I just got off a call today. I just closed on like 10 acres right in my hometown with me and my business associates. So we getting ready to do a lot of things there. And my farm, we getting ready to grow orange watermelon and yellow watermelon up in Baker, Louisiana. And then with the other spot in Irville, Louisiana, that's getting fenced off. We just getting ready to probably go straight mustard greens on there. And then I'm heavy in cannabis, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through a couple processes right there to get my other licenses, for Florida and stuff like that. So right now I'm into cultivating. I worked at a grow lab this summer. One of the best times of my life. I actually got to understand the science of weed and of cannabis and how it was used, like, treat spinal injuries and just, experiment with different things, like just watching it, take, different joint pains down and just, really studying behind it and not just smoking. And I also have a sports medicine company and where I got a all natural CBD cream that just got put through production. They just came in, and then I'm getting ready to make a formula for organic concussion pills. So
wow.
Awesome.
Okay. Do you have a website, or how would we get your product?
Okay, so you can follow the farm on Instagram at Excellent Farms, and growing season getting ready. It's just cooling down in Louisiana, so now we getting ready to grow. And for the website, it's still in some works right now, but I can just drop it to y'all whenever. And
yeah, do that.
Yeah, and then my cultivating is through my farm, so it's the same thing for its Excellent Farms.
All right,
you can modify your name.
Yeah,
on the screen that pops up, you can put your Instagram handle there.
I got you. And then also, I'm partnered with JaQuincy Jones with Ecolone Soaps. It's a long-standing soap company that's been in business for like 13 years now in Louisiana, well known. We ended up meeting, and he's the one who actually got me into farming and cultivating and stuff like that. So I'm partnered with him with Ecolone Soaps, and right now we got a Rattler ball coming out that's finna drop. So make sure y'all get that and stuff like that. We're looking to do a lot of things like in the HBCU world with the resources we got. So
love it. Now I got one more thing, and then I want you to lay it on. I understand somebody made some mean gumbo, and I want to know, and I want to know if I can get some gumbo for homecoming.
Homecoming. So this the plan for homecoming. So I'm gonna let everybody know now. So for homecoming, all the fans on here, y'all, the tent gonna be set up by the main gate, by gate 1. Moms, my whole family, they throwing down, tailgating, they selling plates, doing whatever. Y'all can come by the tent and just get whatever y'all want, because they finna lay it out. So
hey, do we need to do a pre-show? Right. Do we need to do a pre-show from?
Oh, y'all most definitely can. I can make sure they bring it to y'all.
We gotta talk about that.
Hey, we're gonna talk about it offline. But I
believe
I got you.
Hey, you're gonna be the way with the businesses that you have going, man. You're gonna be offering NIL opportunities to college athletes here pretty soon. I mean, with some of the stuff that you're doing.
That's in the works right now. I know everybody, so I got left talk at Ole Miss. We getting ready to talk to. We're not talking. We in works on NIL with him right now. one of my former high school players I used to play. Well, he was under me, but he goes to Baylor right now, and we getting NIL to him. The goal with the forum is to basically have it so we stabilize the NIL to where the kids and their families wouldn't have to worry about food while they're in the dorm. So that's what we're getting the paperwork and everything together now. So whenever we NIL, they can have free access to our farm food and stuff like that. So right now it'll probably be locally till we can branch out elsewhere. But as soon as we find, the correct way to make sure everybody eat, that's the goal.
Awesome.
Hey, one last question. Kenya Sykes, what was the name of the soap? Which name won for the FAMU soap? What was the name of it?
The Rattler Bar.
The Rattler Bar. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Well, hey, Kardell, man, look, we got to have you back on when you got some of that other stuff ready to promote. Mm-hmm. I mean, all you got to do is hit us up. I mean, look, you're now official. You're a friend of the ONG StrikeZone. You're official. Hey, look.
Yeah, if we would have did it in person, I would have brought y'all the gumbo. I got 2 in the freezer right now.
Man, look, don't. This homecoming, this snow. Just tell me where to be. Tell us where to be, Kelvin. Look, let's talk offline.
Yeah, we gonna make that happen.
We will be there for that for sure. All right, Kardell. Last word. Anything you want? Give people your handles again. Let people know how they can follow you. Give you the plugs. I want to give you the last word here as we close out the segment.
Okay, so my Instagram is my exact name, Kardell Thomas. Excellent Forms is spelled just like that. Excellent Forms. That's the total name. Ecolone Soaps on Instagram, and the other websites and stuff I'm gonna drop in there soon. But I'm gonna be pushing that through my other Instagrams and certain websites. So it'll be on there probably like by the end of the weekend.
Just make sure you send it to us, and we'll definitely put it out there for you.
I got you for sure.
All right.
Well, hey, Kardell, man, it's a pleasure to have you. First off, it's a pleasure to have you in Tallahassee. Pleasure to have you on our side, especially when that game went down in Baton Rouge. And man, congratulations and much success to you, man. I had no idea you had your hands in so many pots, but you.
Oh yeah, man! I hopped out the port and I just ducked my head and just went into it. It's stressful a little bit, but like what's gonna come from it is the long game. Like being in college made me realize the long game is what matters. So I'm here for it.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, that's what going to college is all about. Finding what it is you enjoy doing, and it sounds like as long as you're doing what you enjoy doing, it ain't hard work.
Exactly.
So you do what you love, and football for as long as opportunity presents itself, and then sounds like you're putting some things in place for after football.
Right.
But good luck to you, your teammates, the O-line group, and much success, much health to you. And we'll talk offline, and we'll talk more down the road. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening.
Keep striking.
Yes, sir. Keep striking. You guys make sure to hit up Kardell. Let him know you appreciate him coming on the show. What an amazing young man.
Impressive.
Man, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, this show keeps getting better and better, and it ain't done yet because we got Lelan Wilhoite coming up here on the other side. More Rattlers, another dynamic, outstanding young man who we'll be talking to here in just a second. So take a quick break. We'll be back in 2. Talk to Lelan Wilhoite. You're watching the ONG StrikeZone. Yeah, I said that right. Right here on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and Instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeversVoice.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Marcus. And let's see if we've got Lelan here joining us. Let's see. Lelan, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. How you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing good. Can y'all see me?
No, we can't.
I don't know why it's not showing.
We can't. Are you on what are you on what iPhone or iPad or?
No, I'm on the I'm in the computer lab. It has a camera. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to see.
All right. We'll give Lelan here a second here.
Let me see. I don't know why it's doing this.
Let's see. Are you able to log? How about are you able to log back in?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay. We'll have you log back in here in a second. Leland's gonna come in and join us. Of course, Leland, a redshirt senior running back from Nashville, Tennessee. Been at FAM now a couple seasons. More recently, had a really good game against Mississippi Valley State. 3 carries, 29 yards, and working his way into that tough rotation. I mean, we got a lot of weapons, and when you have a lot of weapons, man, it's just it's making it happen when you get the moment, and you don't wish injury on anybody, but sometimes when one guy goes down, you're able to the next man up. All right, let's see. I think we got him here.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
all right.
There you go. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. How y'all doing, man?
Hey, we're doing well. Good to have you on, everyone. Lelan Wilhoite joining us on the show. So Lelan, how are you enjoying or taking this bye week? You got the season. We've been talking about it. We're kind of at that point where 5-1, 4-0 in conference. It's a great, successful season. And now we get a bye week at a perfect time when it's like, okay, we know all the goals for you guys are coming up here after this bye week. So how are you kind of processing everything, and how's the season been going for you?
The season's been going good. I feel like our preparation is well for this bye week. So we're going to get ready to go to TSU. But overall, we're winning. That's all that matters. And the Rattler fans, they should bring that energy, and you guys should bring that energy to push us and help us strive to get to the next level. But overall, us winning, Coach Simmons and the coaches always have a plan. They even when we get in, tight situations and, when it's kind of risky with Rattler fans and everybody on their toes, we always come out with the victory. So this off week does help us prepare, get right, look at all the bad and then the good that we're doing offensively and defensively. So we're doing good.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So I know you graduated this
Yes, sir.
this summer, man. Talk about what you graduated in and then how things are going in terms of your grad classes and so forth.
Well, I graduated in disciplinary studies, science and disciplinary studies, and I got my AA in theater arts. I do music, I sing. So that's been going good. I got 2 degrees. You know, my mother and father are very proud. My family's very proud. And I'm just really just striving just to do my part this year for the season this year as we continue to just win games and continue to execute and continue to do what we do. So,
all right.
really excited.
I want you to talk about because I see somebody been doing their homework in the comments. I know you're a versatile guy. You played previously as a little wide receiver as well as running back.
Yes,
kind
sir.
of talk about your journey to FAMU.
Whew. Well, coming to FAMU, I was at Fort Scott Community College, and we were in the Kansas conference. That was like the SEC JUCO, so that's the best conference. And coming from there, we didn't really have college coaches coming in and out. But coming from high school, I was kind of like immediately highly recruited. So I had a couple schools that had offered me that was still constantly in contact with me. Coach Bobby Bentley, Jake Bentley from South Carolina, University of South Carolina. And just building relationships while I was in JUCO. But it was that COVID year where we only had to play 2 games, and I didn't get the chance to play. And one game we played Independence when we went against Zay Major. Y'all know Zero, that man. So when that situation was going on, I got a call from Coach Salini. Coach Salini, the coach at the University of Florida, wide receivers coach, Coach Gonzalez. I was talking to him, and they invited me up to the camp, Gainesville. And I showed out. I was lightweight. I weighed in probably about 182, but I didn't have a muscle like I had now. But I was lightweight, about 182. Ran a good 40, probably like a 4.5. But when it was time for drills and everything, killing, like dominating. Coach Simmons and all the coaches, they all came like in a pack. It was probably like 8 deep. It was Coach JB that's now at Youngstown, my previous receiver coach. Shout out to Coach JB. He eyed me first, and he saw me. He was like, "Yeah, you like that." He was following me everywhere around the camp. Then all the coaches was following, and my mother and father and my auntie, my cousins, my granny. We packed like a whole like family trip. We was like 20 of us. We all came up because we thought this was gonna be it. You know, I didn't think I was gonna be able to play football again because of the situation that I was in. But I didn't lose faith. You know, and I appreciate Coach Simmons and the coaches for continuing to believe in me even during that situation. But now I'm getting off, and the coaches, I could say here, I was ineligible at the time when I was in JUCO, but I ended up getting a lot of interest. FIU, FAU, Florida State, a lot of schools was really interested in me. And FAMU, they took a risk on me. And I owe FAMU. You know, I owe Coach Simmons, I owe the whole organization, the administration, people who helped me out here. I owe everything to FAMU because, you know, I put myself in a hole being here. You know, it's been a lot of good and a lot of bad, but one thing I definitely say is FAMU's helped me grow up a lot, and this team's helped me grow up a lot, the university, and I just love it.
Awesome testimony.
Yes, sir.
That's great to hear.
Indeed. Yeah. What you got, Marcus?
Oh, thanks for coming on the show, Mr. Wilhoite. I guess my question for this is, I've noticed in the time that you've gotten in, and even some practice highlights over the last couple of years, I don't know if you're familiar, and it's probably before your time, but in basketball for the Pistons, when they were in a championship run in the late 80s, there was a guy, Vinnie Johnson, nicknamed the Microwave, because he would just come in and heat it up. And you have a very similar personality. How did that develop in terms of having that impact on the team? Is that something that you developed over the years, or has it always been a part of your personality?
I'm just passionate about the game. Like people tell me all the time, I'm a young old soul. I study the greats, so the work ethic and passion comes from this. Like the guys I've studied, you know, Reggie Bush, Marshall Faulk, Marcus Dupree, you know, Barry Sanders, you know, Emmitt Smith. You know, I can name guys in the 80s and 90s and in the 70s, you know, that I watched that growing up my brother played at Brentwood Academy with Jalen Ramsey and Derek Barnett. You know, my uncle, he coaches at the University of Tennessee with my cousin Tyler Barron, who plays DN and stars for those guys. You know, I've been training with Jalen Ramsey and those guys since I was 7 to 8 years old. But I was different. You know, growing up was different, and it was hard. But I had to adjust because I was the one out of my family that was gonna make something happen. You know, not knocking my family, but you know, wasn't a lot of opportunities. But I was the one that had to make an opportunity, and I took that sacrifice. You know, my mother groomed me to be different. You know, you don't hear a lot of people talk about doing theater and all that. Like, I did that because my mother, but then I ended up enjoying it because it set me apart from different people. It made me feel like I'm different. I don't do what everybody else do. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Have you been able to utilize or parlay that interest in theater and connecting with other FAMU alums or other any folks in the theater industry or in the arts and entertainment industry? I know that's kind of hard sometimes, maybe at this point, because you do a lot of training in the off season. But have you been able to establish any connections through, in the off season or in I don't know if there's such thing as downtime, but in between time?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't, but I have been like connecting with like people who like do like give ballet classes and different things. So I took ballet for a year and I did hot yoga for like 3 years. So like doing that 1 year of ballet, everything that I was doing was correlated with football. Like Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, he did ballet when he was younger. You know, he did ballet when he was, I want to say when he left Oregon State or Oklahoma State, one of those. But when he was in JUCO, he did ballet, and that's where I got the ballet and stretching and being so involved in my mobility. I watch other greats. You know, I see how longevity really is longevity when you do the little things. So I haven't played football in 3 years, and I'm still hanging on. You know, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Talk a little bit about that running back room that you're a part of. I mean, it is loaded. You guys. I mean, this is by far one of the deepest rooms I think that we've had in a few years at FAMU.
Yes,
And
sir.
I mean, the competition is heavy. I mean, just by the nature of, as you can see, Coach hasn't necessarily said one. Oh yeah, bless you. He hasn't necessarily said one guy is going to get all the carries. It's a constant rotation of guys. Talk a little bit about that competition, but that spirit of brotherhood. We were just talking to Kardell earlier, talking about how you guys are the tote gang keeps the O-line in check and vice versa. But just talk about how you and those other running backs are competing in practice, but then how you all bring it together on those game days.
We compete every day in practice. Woo, Rail, Yant, Sawyer, Shad, all those guys. We compete each and every day. Like we go hard, and those guys push me. We push each other. We learn from each other, and we all kind of know each other's buttons to push in a jokeable way, because all of us lack at something, but we all can take pieces from each other, if that makes sense, and learn from each other and take pieces and critique each other. But that's the best room. I feel like we the best room. Like defense, like they hold it down. Zay and all them, J-Mo, the defense, they hold it down. But the running back room, our Coach Wyndham, Marcus Wyndham, he holds it down for us. So I ain't gonna lie, when we interact with each other, it's all love, always all love.
I feel like, guys, look, this has been a heavy offensive show. I feel like next week we got to get the defensive guys. I got a feeling we're going to get calls from defensive guys next week, because, I mean, the love that the offensive unit has, I mean, is pretty special. I love it. Love to hear it in this show. Go ahead, Kelvin.
I know you're a hype guy, right? On the field.
I'm a little crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Hey, everybody talk about your energy, and honestly, that juice that you bring, it shows when you enter into the game, right?
Yes,
you come in and instantly, like, things pick up and you show a lot of emotion. Where does that come from?
Pain, man. It's I tell people to go as far as your eyes can see. If you love something, you're truly passionate about something, You can fall 7 times, like Denzel said, and get up 8. And all the times that you fall, you learn something. Learn something about yourself and learn something about what you love and what you want to do in life. Like football, this is my love. It won't stop after this. I continue to stay healthy. God continue to cover me. You know, you're going to see Lelan play a lot of football. But the passion, it just comes from just pain, just dealing with all the trials and tribulations, just knowing how to keep going. And, you know, I call myself the responder because I know how to respond to anything. You know, it don't matter what battle I face, I will respond.
Awesome. Very, very articulate. So how do we what needs to happen in the second half of the season for us to end up where we want to be, which is national champions and celebration bowl champions? What do
I
you
would say
see?
we gotta take risks. We gotta get loose. We gotta coaches are doing their jobs, putting us in right positions, in right schemes. And us as players, we do our part, learn the schemes, execute it well. But I would definitely say it's time to take risks. It's time to let loose. It's time to make playmakers be playmakers. It's time to turn up the crowd. You know, the Rattlers gonna be in the building every time we shake something. You know, we're gonna score every time. Defense gonna do their thing. But I would say the second half of the season, we just need to execute games and finish.
Awesome.
Well said. Well said. Go ahead, Marcus.
What's been your for this season? Or maybe your career at FAMU? What's been the signature or highlight moment for you? Whether it's something on field or something that you experienced while being on the team.
Highlight moment. People may think like, I don't know, they may think this is small, but I haven't played football for 3 years. You know, due to like, you know, off the field situations. And I think the highlight moment was me when I was able to get on that flight to go to Miami because I've never been to Miami. That was like, man, that was like watching a movie. I ain't gonna lie. I seen all the hotels. I'm seeing the water, and you know, I got an Android. I ain't got no iPhone, so like, you know, I can't really get proper pictures. But now, just being in that moment with my team, and just I was grateful.
Well, thank you for your answer.
Hey, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of the Android. I got an Android with you, brother. Team Android all day, forever. You know, don't let them throw shade at you for having an Android. I'm Team Android all day. All right? So, Lelan, what's sort of the second half plans for FAMU's offense as best as you can tell us? Because, you know, I think as we kind of talk about it, you know, we see the passing game has picked up, and that's great because 11 guys caught a ball against Southern. But then there's always the background where people are always wanting to say you got to run the ball to be successful. What's it like in the meetings? How, you know, what's the mindset? Do you go with the I'll let you tell us. You tell us kind of what it's like in the background, because we all have our conceptions of what it should be, but what you as a player and when you hear from the coaches and you guys in your individual groups, what's the mindset offensively?
The mindset offensively is O block. So you got to understand, we the O block. We're gonna execute. We learn, but I feel that, like I said earlier, we have to let playmakers play and put playmakers in the best position to make plays. So, you know, Moussa is our guy. Bullet Marcus Riley, electric. 10 K-Dot, 2 Mari, 81 threats. Like all across the board, it's talent everywhere. Backfield, Woo, Rail. Like we just you put playmakers in the right position and for them to make plays, you will see an execution on our offense. And the coaches are doing their best and have been doing a great job to put us in the right position to make plays. But I just feel, like I said, we need to take more risks and do more in a way. But so far, we're winning. It doesn't matter what happens in games. It's always adversity. We're going to continue to win. We're going to continue to win as a whole and trust in our coaching.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Leland, any words, any shout outs? I want to give you kind of the last word. Any shout outs that you want to give? Anything you want to promote? Just let people know how they can reach you even. Uh-oh, I hope he didn't run. I hope they didn't snipe him there in the computer lab.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. Hold on, we're gonna pause it. I'm gonna pull him out here of the room for a second and see if he comes back. He should here in a second. Maybe he'll have to log back in. You guys are funny. Kenya talking about Android people messing up the text thread. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I didn't even realize what all that blue and green and all the other stuff was. Let's see. Is Leland, you back yet? Nope. Hold on. He's not back yet. Man, I want to give him a chance to kind of close out. Okay, he's going to open back up. Good to see you, Sweet. Welcome aboard, Team Android. All right, welcome. See, don't get us started here. We are out here. We are out here. Team Android. But no, that's awesome, man. It's good to hear Leland's story and just hearing him again. Dynamic young man. I tell you, I'd still go back to that spring game from a couple years ago, and just like, we found that next man up, that guy that's going. Because let me see, this was right after the Bishop Bonnet. Yeah, this is right after Bishop Bonnet, right? Yeah, this is right after Bishop Bonnet, and of course the Bonnet previous to him is Zende Ray, and so I still feel like that's what this offense is missing. That's what this offense needs. I mean, it's nice having the backs that we have, but we still are missing, and somehow
some of the explosiveness, right?
Right.
But I tell you what, man, the reason I love doing these kind of shows, man, where we had Miss Moussa and because you get to hear the stories and the testimonies, man, and it makes me proud as a FAMU grad to hear that FAMU is still changing the lives of the next generations, man. When you hear those guys talk about their testimony and about coming to FAMU and what it meant and how it helped them to grow, man, that is the value of HBCUs, man. We take coal and we turn it into diamonds, man. And I'm just so glad that we still doing that. And so I really appreciate shows like this.
Yeah, me too. And just to echo that, I mean, when you hear the two stories between Kardell and Lelan and talk about where they came from, their previous experiences, and how coming to FAMU started to develop and formulate some things in their lives that they can use for the rest of their lives, something that perhaps their previous experiences helped to shape and form, but it's all crystallized here at FAMU through supportive coaches, a supportive environment, supportive fans, supportive family, and all those things that converged to hopefully launch them on a successful rest of their lives being productive citizens. And, once again, that's what we're here for. I mean, we cheer for the football team. We cheer for all our student athletes. We get out the belt for our administrators. But in the end, it's all about developing people and having them become productive citizens of society. And I'm hearing that recurring theme between the two players that we've had, and even Miss Moussa speaking on behalf of her son, or through her lens of her son's growth and maturation. And you hear that common theme through all three of the segments we had tonight and past segments that we've had with other players.
Yeah.
And I think what also is a very important thing to consider or add into this mix is we got good coaches. We have the kind of coaches who get it,
good fit,
who are good fits for FAMU. They understand what FAMU is and the importance of FAMU, and I don't think we've always had that. I feel like I feel pretty confident in saying we haven't always had that. But I think I think now we have that. We have a lot of those coaches, and I think when you hear players talk about that relationship with their coaches and the coaches that we talk to, that is a big selling point. I mean, look, on the recruiting trail, I mean, I know Coach Riz is, and I saw a post that he's going to be all over Florida here this upcoming weekend. I mean, when you come to FAMU is a special place. And you know, a lot of times I know we talk about maybe not what we don't have, and all we want to do is we want more just to continue to give these students the world-class experience that they deserve. But even so, so much of the fabric of FAMU is built in the people and the history. And so, but I always worry that, look, just because we have all that doesn't mean that we can't make that investment. Don't think that we should not make the investment. Don't think that we should not be upset, be loud when we're not seeing improvements to things and excellence. Because, man, when you can mirror the people and the history with the excellent facilities and all that and bring all that together, man, we just continue to add for these young people. So I'm not sure if we're going to get Lelan back. I'm gonna have to, I wish we get a chance to just kind of say bye to him and let him get a last shout out. But make sure if you're not following him on Twitter, make sure you do hit his page up at Lelan Wilhoite. Is it 1? Let me see. Yeah, at Lelan Wilhoite 1. That's where you can find him on Twitter. I don't know if that's the Instagram. Nope. The Instagram is the number 2 WO period 5 YEEE. So, but go to his go to his X handle, and you'll see the Instagram handle there as well. There's a lot going on there in that Instagram handle. But that's all. It's all good. But hit him up on Twitter. Let him know you appreciate him coming on the show. You appreciate his story and sharing it with us. And we thank Lelan for coming on with us, as well as Kardell and Erica. Look, I feel like I still want to, before we close the show, I know we got a lot of different little things that we want to bring up here. So, for example, AD Sykes is going to be speaking to the Board of Trustees tomorrow. We wanted to share some of that information with you before that actually happens, in case you're not able to watch it live. And then got a few other thoughts here, as the one of the things was the some of the contract terms for Coach Bridget Gordon, the women's basketball coach. I went through that contract, which is one of those items that needs to be approved. So let's do this. Let's take a short break, come back in 2 minutes, and we'll kind of close out the show with some of these Rattler Roundup news and notes info, kind of bring up. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the volleyball win in Texas. So we'll do all of that on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm. Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida. 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Marcus here. Want to go through a bit of a Rattler Roundup here segment with you. Just kind of again, we'll start back at football.
Yes, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Let mama know.
SWAC players of the week. There you see him up there, of course, Jeremy Moussa. And then you had a pair of guys from Alabama State, and then that Irv Mulligan again for Jackson State. I'm going to tell you now, in my honest opinion, halfway point of the season, and we can do this next week. I think this will be fun to do next week. I think 2 of those people are in the running for SWAC Player of the Year. I think Moussa and I think Irv Mulligan is in the running for SWAC Player of the Year. Now,
Offense or total?
Well, how do they do it in the SWAC? They do offense or total?
You know what? I don't know. I can't remember. I know they do offense. I know they do offense and defense, but I don't know if they do an overall like.
No, right. Maybe they just do offense. So if it's just offense, I think that's going to be your
2.
There's 2 right there, and right. Then it'll be a matter of, I guess we'll kind of look and see who the third kind of, to me,
could be that young man from Alabama State, Keyshawn Johnson.
I can't see it going to a receiver, not on a team that.
Yeah,
I mean, his yard. I put it like this: for him, I think you'd have to see some impressive yard after catch numbers, because if you just just because you get 12 catches and 140 yards, 50 yards every game, I got to see, like, I mean, it is.
What he's going to need is a good showing this weekend at Jackson State homecoming. Now, if they pull that game off,
a signature win.
Yeah, if they pull that game off, then he'll be in the picture.
Be a big part of it. He needs to be a big part of it. Like, if he lights it up to the point where Jackson State can't stop him, then it's like, okay, now I'm paying attention. You know, but I find it hard to see a receiver. I mean, hell, the last receiver in the I don't know. I don't want to go there because I don't have my SWAC hours up, so I don't want to say who the last SWAC receiver was, because I was about to say Jerry Rice, but there's probably somebody since Jerry Rice. You know, I get killed by folks. But yeah, so that's the list. Of course, Jeremy. 325, 2 touchdowns. There it is. No other side graphic. Sorry. Didn't get that. Final scores from the week. Pretty entertaining week of games.
Yeah.
The blowout at Jackson State. I think. Hold on. Let's go back while we're looking at those. Let's kind of scroll down. Let's look at our predictions here. Yeah, for some reason, Kelvin thought Alabama A&M was going to show up. There's no dog. There's no bite in that dog. Marcus and I both had Jackson State. The Alcorn Grambling State game. I mean, talk about a dime. I'm butthurt over that because I had Grambling, and then I didn't, and then they lost it.
Who didn't have Grambling?
Yes, you and Marcus. Yes, you did. Yes, both of you had Alcorn.
Woo! Got away with that one.
I'm telling you, got away with that one. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And then Bethune in Alabama State. Bethune had an opportunity very late in that ball game. They somehow, Alabama State tried to get that game to them, and they got real close to taking it. And so I almost came up on that one too. But you and Marcus both picked Alabama State. And then, of course, Prairie View winning 31-12 over Valley. I think the standings is the next graphic. There's your standings right now in the SWAC. And
look at the West.
The Wild West, man. So that was one of the things that I had when we had Charles Edmond on. Obviously, Alcorn, Grambling, and Prairie View have all played each other. Meaning Prairie View's played Alcorn and Grambling. Alcorn has played Prairie View and Grambling has played the other two. So it's and they're all split. Nobody has like a 2-0 advantage. So it's all 1-1. And the only thing that separates them is I think Grambling beat Prairie View by 15. When you look at, if you were to do a plus minus wins, that's the only thing that separates them, is that Grambling kind of has a plus 14 margin.
Prairie View technically has a game lead on both.
Half game lead.
Because they beat Alcorn and Grambling, right?
No,
Prairie View lost to Grambling.
Prairie View lost to Grambling. The only reason Prairie View is in first place is because they have played one more conference game. Remember, at the beginning of the season, they played Texas Southern.
Texas Southern, that was who it was. Okay,
and so Prairie View right now is 3-1 in conference. Alcorn, Grambling, and Southern are all 2-1 in conference. And of course, in talking to, when we talked to Charles Edmond on Sunday of the Alcorn State Sports Network, Southern still has to play those top 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, Southern controls their own destiny.
2 of them at home, right?
Yes, 2 of them are at home. So they really control their own destiny, but they also got to play Jackson State.
Yep.
So Southern has 4 tough conference games.
Southern's playing Jackson State twice?
No, they already played Jackson State.
They already played.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Who is it that Southern has to play? Let me see.
Who's the crossover? The other crossover?
Yeah, I wrote it. Oh, damn it. I don't have it. Don't worry about it. I had it somewhere written down, but I don't have it. It escapes me. But just by the fact that Southern has to play Grambling, Alcorn, and Prairie View, that'll be pretty interesting. So
don't trust the West. The winner's going to have 3 conference losses.
Said that 3 losses. I don't know. I think it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be 2 because again, Prairie View, Alcorn, and Prairie View and Alcorn and Grambling. I don't.
Prairie View still got to play us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
for homecoming.
Yeah, that's right. So then in that case, Alcorn, to me, I agree with Charles Edmond. Alcorn is the team that sort of it sits in the best spot because of
that's right
on the schedule
and where they play those games. They play Southern on the reservation.
And I think they got Jackson State on the reservation too. So that's 2 games down the stretch that'll be pretty interesting for them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else I got here. Anything else regarding the SWAC season? Anything? Any? Oh, you know what I did? You know what I did want to add? Where did I read this? Oh my God.
Couple of homecomings this weekend.
Yeah. What do you got?
Well, I was just,
There's 15 of them. There's 15. If I recall, there's
yeah,
like 15 homecomings this weekend.
but in SWAC,
Okay.
yeah.
I think Jackson State's homecoming.
Jackson State, Alabama State should be a very entertaining one. And of course, Alcorn had theirs last weekend.
Uh-huh.
And
oh, okay. B Stark's correcting me. Alcorn plays Jackson State in Jackson. Okay, so that's man, good God. I tell you, it's the last half of the season, last 4 or 5 weeks are going to be crazy.
Jackson State has some landmines. They still got to play a lot of good teams down the stretch.
But the challenge for
but
them
most of them is on the west, but they still got a lot of good teams to play.
The challenge for Jackson State, of course, trying to see if they can find their way into one. Can they get into the rankings? Can they get into the polls and have a shot at at-large bid?
Mm-hmm. They got to run the table.
I think they have to run the table, and they got to keep beating people by these margins that they're putting 35 plus points, 30 up. I mean, the only game that they didn't put 30 something up was against us. Right. I think everybody else they played, they put over 35, maybe 30,
including that Texas
right.
State game.
They put 33 points up on Texas State. So, I mean, they continue to put up numbers.
Yeah, if they can put up points, they should be able to run the table. Yeah.
Oh, no, they only put up 22 against Bethune.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That was an ugly game.
There you go. Bethune's homecoming is this weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Where was I gonna go? I'm still mad. I had a thought that it was related to
and they play peer review, right?
Jackson?
Yes. No, Bethune.
No, Bethune for homecoming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hold on.
Separation.
I got this. Hold on. I'll pull it up. It's a bit early than what I had planned on showing. Let me see if I got it here. If I can flip through all the other stuff that I got. Okay. Here's the schedule right here. That's the schedule this weekend.
Oh, so they got Texas Southern, the other Texas school.
Yeah, they got Texas Southern. That game looks like it's on HBCU Go. Of course, an interesting matchup between Alabama State and Jackson State. An elimination game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if the Hornets have the offense.
I don't think they do either. But the one thing that's sort of good for Jackson State, they've played two of the other tough defenses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
FAMU and Southern.
You're right.
And you went 1-1 in those games, and really short of you really had one bad half. You had a bad half against FAMU. Other than that, you played 3 good halves, 3 of 4 good halves. So that's got to be encouraging. That's kind of what I'm telling people. If I'm TC Taylor, I'm telling those guys. Grambling, Alabama A&M. Kelvin, do you still feel the way you feel about Alabama A&M even after?
I feel like Alabama A&M. I feel like Texas Southern, like I feel about them in the West. I don't trust them. I ain't never picking them again.
Well, I mean, because remember, that was one of the games that you felt like when FAMU goes Alabama A&M.
I still think it can be a trap game.
Yeah,
but
it's late in the season.
But we have to help them a lot though. We have to play bad. I don't trust them.
Yeah, and Southern's homecoming against that team from out
Lincoln.
of California, Lincoln.
Yeah, they're gonna put They probably gonna put 67 on them.
Yeah. I don't know who Prairie's playing.
I
I
mean,
think that's
Texas
Houston
Southern.
Baptist.
I
Houston
mean,
Baptist, okay.
I
I
mean,
think it's not a SWAC team.
Texas Southern beat Lincoln what 50 something. They put 53 on them, right?
See, that's gonna be the bad comparison. See that's there you go. See, that's how we're gonna compare everything now and say, well, if Jackson State or no, not Jackson State, but who'd you say? Texas Southern without Andrew
Body, right?
Put up 50 something. Hell, we should be able to put up 50. And so if Southern doesn't put up 50, oh man, especially after last week, Jaguar Nation, they're gonna be fit to be tied. And hey, who knows? We may be right in that same boat 4 weeks from now when we play them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, someone's, as I heard it said on the internet, I think Scotty said that someone's got to win a game bowl between UAB and Valley.
Hey, get off Pine Bluff. They got to win.
Oh, there you go. I'm purposely rooting for Valley just because they're at home. Y'all gonna stop kicking Valley when they're down.
Tough job.
Right. Very tough job. Very tough. So let's see. Who else is on a bye other than FAMU? That's who else is on a bye?
It must be a lot of teams because
2, 4, 6, 8,
that's 10.
9, 10. 2 team. We're on a bye, and somebody else is on a bye this week. Any quick thoughts going through the West?
Alcorn.
Thank you. B Stark says Alcorn. Thank you. I knew somebody was going to figure it out. There you go. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's transition to volleyball. Can we for a minute? Just real quick. Got to mention the ladies.
Absolutely.
They did a cluster, and it was. I'm not gonna
watch your language.
I know I had to catch myself. It was called a SWAC cluster. But
I am glad. Let me just say this. I am glad that the clusters is going away. I believe Coach said that after this year they ain't gonna do those clusters because this was a cluster. You know what?
Look, they could not have now. For some reason they scheduled those matches 2 hours. There was 2 hours between each match. I saw the schedule for Sunday. What they could not have predicted was that practically every match was going to go 5 sets.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. I mean, practically I think there may have been one match on Sunday that did not go 5 sets. So when FAMU was playing Southern, a game that was scheduled for 2, I don't think it actually happened until like maybe 4 o'clock. Right? So just imagine you're already 2 hours behind. And I was wondering, because FAMU's next match was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. And I kept saying, well, wait a minute. If it's 4 o'clock now and there's like 2 more games in between, is the FAMU game going to really start at 8? Sure enough, it did not, because the next 2 sets went 5. And I think one of them went 2 hours and 41 minutes. And I was just like, holy, yeah. But by the time FAMU's match against Texas Southern started, it was 11 o'clock Eastern time. And I noticed because your boy was up for some reason, still on Sunday night, watching Sunday Night Football. Actually, I think it didn't start until, don't get me to lying. It may not have started until 11
around midnight. Yeah, it was close to midnight.
All I know is I was still up at midnight, 1 o'clock, and that match was finishing. So anyway, the ladies went from playing Southern, where they beat Southern 3-2 in a match that kind of was every other set, FAMU won, Southern won, FAM won, Southern won, and then we won the last set. Then the next game, though, I thought we were like gonna get out of there. I was all ready to go to bed, happy. We were up 2-0 on Texas Southern, and then something happened. The wheels fell off. Or
they got sleepy.
We got sleepy. We turned into
the clock hit 1. in the morning.
It was over. We turned
It-
into a pumpkin real quick, and we couldn't win nothing with Texas Southern, who has only won like 3 matches, 3 games this entire season, and all of them have been in conference play. They actually ended up beating us 3-2. And just watching that, you were just watching. I was like this. I was like, really? I'm like, are y'all really gonna lose this? We lost the first set, and I'm thinking, okay, well, we're not going to bed. And then in the 4th set, I'm thinking, no, we're not gonna lose this one too. We lose this one, and I'm like, well, it's now 12:45 in the morning, and we have crossed over into a new day, and FAMU is still out on the court. And they ended up losing the 4th set. They ended up losing the 5th set. We lost that match 3-2. And somehow had to turn around because by the time that game ended, what was it, Kelvin? 2:00 in the morning, Eastern, 1 Central, and they had to turn around and play at, I think
11.
11
in the morning. Yeah,
11. Yeah, it was about 11 Central, maybe 11 Central. So in about 10 hours, they had to turn around and play again. But as you can see by the score, we beat Prairie View A&M. That's actually the 2 matches that we needed to win. It was unfortunate that we gave away the Texas Southern one, but the fact that we beat Southern, who is up there in the standings, and we beat Prairie View, who sits up pretty high in the standings, those were 2 good wins. Just kind of looking through just a quick note here. More of Brooke Hudson. Let me see. In that first game against Southern, Camila De La Rosa had a match high 42 assists. Brooklyn Watts and Brooke Hudson posted match highs in kills and digs. In the second match, let me see. Brooklyn Watts had a match high 18 kills. Watts registered a double-double, 18 kills, 10 digs. De La Rosa had a team high aces again. Brooke Hudson, 23 digs. De La Rosa had a match high 41 assists. So she had 43 in the first one, 41 in the second. And then we get to the third match against Prairie View. And let's see. Emerald Jacobs picked up her 5th double-double of the season with 10 kills and 15 digs. Yvonne Stanford added 16 kills to help the attack. And so there you go. Players of the week, Brooke Hudson and Yvonne Sanford. It's the 7th consecutive week that a Lady Rattler has been honored by the SWAC. I think it's pretty safe that as long as Brooke stays healthy, she's going to be the defensive player of the year in the conference. I don't see how she's not. Yvonne Sanford won the newcomer of the year. I'm surprised De La Rosa didn't do anything. But special note to Brooke Hudson, who's now 2nd in the nation in digs with 424. Damn, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Who played that spot for us last year? I forgot. Was it Iram? That was Iram.
No, she did.
Yeah, Iram played that spot last year, right?
No.
Brooke?
Yeah, Brooke's been here. This is her 2nd year here.
Okay, no, that's right. Iram was the setter. Okay, you're right.
But also, I think she rotated in with the young lady that transferred in from Grambling. That's not part of the team this year.
Yeah, I
for
remember.
the I don't know how you pronounce it. Libero.
Libero. You said it right. Yeah.
And actually, there's a good explanation. I had to look it up, but there's a good explanation of what the libero does. and why they have a different color jersey on NCAA.com.
Okay, go ahead and tell the people. I mean, I
don't remember. It's just I had to research it and I read it, but I forgot.
so
but I linked it.
Right. So as far as I have been able to glean, and from what I know of my time continually watching high school volleyball and so on and so forth, your libero obviously is your defensive specialist usually, and they wear that different color jersey because they can substitute in and out.
Yes.
Anytime. And usually that's done on offense because maybe they're not a setter or a server. So usually you'll see teams kind of rotate the libero off the court when they want somebody to come in and serve for her or in place of her. And then, she will come back in. She can come in anytime. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she can substitute for anyone too when she comes back in. Usually everybody else has a pattern. Like whoever you sub for the first time, you got to sub for that person for the entire set. So the libero actually being a different color because they don't have to report. They don't have to stand there at the net and sub in by the official. They can just kind of sub in and out freely. So that's sort of why I think that's why the libero kind of wears a different color jersey than everybody else. That's my down and dirty explanation. Now I'm sure there's a more technical definition on NCAAvolleyball.com, but that's
I'll see if I can find it. I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, that's
and also speaking of NCAA.com, they posted a video today, I guess, of their pass through Tallahassee a couple weeks ago, and I guess they released a Get to Know You segment on Brooklyn Watts.
Oh, okay. Is this in addition to what they did previously when they came down a couple weeks ago?
I think it's the same visit. They're just spacing out interviews. So they just released that today, and the one that they released a couple weeks ago. I'm looking at it now. September 19th is when they had their first sit down with Coach Gokhan and a couple players, or this is the FAMU volleyball team, and showed some practice clips. And earlier today, they released one where they did a walkthrough. I guess Michaela Chester, I guess she's the NCAA volleyball beat reporter, kind of like how Stan back then is for for FCS football. And they put the video interview with Brooklyn Watts walking down the set today, whereas previously they released a 30-minute segment 30-second one on Coach Gokhan and FAMU volleyball.
All right. Well, there are the volleyball standings. Alabama State still sitting in first place. They're 6-0 in SWAC competition. Jackson State is in second place with a 9-7 overall. The only team with a winning record overall, but they're 5-1 in SWAC. Their only loss coming to, that's right, Florida A&M. Prairie View sits tied with FAMU at 5-2 in conference play. FAMU is 9-11 overall. Prairie View's 10-11, and that's why you see the substitution the standings the way they are. But when you look at the standings right there, I mean, obviously, FAMU has wins over Prairie View. They have wins over Jackson State. The only team that they have lost to, prior to losing to Texas Southern in 2 nights, was Alabama State. So this Friday, the Lady Rattlers are in Daytona Beach, 6 o'clock, for a match against Bethune-Cookman, who you see sitting there on the other side. So it's a 6 p.m. match in Daytona Beach. Anything you guys want to add there on the volleyball segment?
No, just hopefully we'll go on a run and finish strong. It's time to finish. We're going into tournament play in a few weeks, so we defended champions. So hopefully we got everything worked out and we're pretty healthy.
I feel like we have always turned it on the second half of the season. This is that point where I think the team usually hits the stretch run. So when we get a chance to go back to Alabama State, that's going to be an important win. We have not lost to anybody twice in the conference. And when I say twice, I mean at all, regular season or tournament. So that's what's on the line when FAMU volleyball goes to Alabama State, is basically to avenge that loss. And we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what transpires. Okay, let's see what I got next here. Okay.
And that's coming up next Friday.
What's that?
Or Friday after next.
What's that?
Return to Alabama State.
Okay, right. Yep.
20th of October.
Real quick, I don't know, did anybody want to talk on the new Division I membership requirements that were published? We did see those come out. Obviously, we heard about the proposal, and I guess the council did adopt these changes for FBS schools to eliminate the attendance requirements at FBS schools.
Yeah.
So that means you don't, regardless of even if you have a 16,000 seat stadium, as long as you can afford to be in the FBS, I guess you can continue to stay there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of fudging of the numbers for those Group of 5 members anyway. They weren't averaging 15,000 a year.
Well, especially the not the Group of
The
5.
Group of 5, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's okay. Yeah. To transition for a school like FAMU or anybody else now, it will cost $5 million instead of $5,000. I think that's the one clear indicator that, hey, we don't,
Yeah, we don't want to divide the pie no more.
we don't want to divide the pot anymore. It is what it is. So it's going to kind of stay what it is. Requiring all programs to provide 90% of the total number of allowable scholarships over a 2-year rolling period across 16 sports. That's the bigger thing there. I think there's more money involved with that, wouldn't you say, Kelvin? In terms of
scholarship dollars and
scholarship dollars, right?
But to me, it just makes sense. You should have some baseline standards in terms of membership in order to join up, because a lot of teams were moving up under the old formula because of exposure and the ability to generate more revenue. But you also had to, you had more expenses. Obviously with the Power 5 now being a Power 4,
pretty much.
They want to limit that as much as possible because it kind of messes up. I think what the intent of was forming like 16, 20 team leagues. They were hoping to have total autonomy, but if you have all these FCS schools keep moving up, then they technically can get outvoted. And if they are sued in the courts, they'll probably lose that too.
Yeah.
Now, one curiosity, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but this whole Pandora's box opened, 1980, when Oklahoma and University of Georgia sued the NCAA for a cartel in terms of managing the TV rights. Based on what they're doing now, in terms of trying to, not necessarily with the TV, but kind of grab, is there a potential for all the Group of 5 and non-Power 5 conference teams? Could they theoretically, or I guess the NCAA isn't really sanctioning this, but could they sue, saying that they're doing the same type of thing?
Well, I think part of the threat is, and I see Dr. Cavill is still in the chats, but I believe the threat of the autonomy of the Power 5, Power 4 now, was that, hey, we could just start our own thing and bump the NCAA. Now, what I will say is this: I know at one time, I don't know if it's still division, but the SWAC as a conference was talking about moving up. If that ever came to fruition, I would be very interested to see how the NCAA would handle that, because they would absolutely lose in court.
Now, I know this has come up before, and actually, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I thought there was someone who's some dramatic expert who mentioned that right now there may not be provision or even precedence for a whole conference moving up.
I'm not sure on that one.
And so I don't know if that means if a whole conference moves up, each conference member needs to have at least $5 million in a kitty so they can all move up as a conference, or is there some other? I mean, I don't think there's been a precedent for it. It's always been individual members. And the conferences that were there basically got adopted into being FBS by virtue of when we went to the Division I format and then the sub formats in 77, 78. So,
all right.
Well, it's a good question, good thought, but I don't know. I know it's been brought up before. Maybe we even talked about it before, but I don't know if there's a provision for a conference moving up, and there hasn't been any precedence thus far in the 50 years or so, 40 plus years of the divisional format.
Maybe we get down the road, man, get a round table and have Dr. lead the discussion and then kind of break all the hypotheses down on something like that.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Good idea. Let me take a look at here the other spread. Now this was the selection criteria for the Division I football, the FCS committee, which now is going to include polls. I don't really concern ourselves with this, really, because for us, and I just have it here. I don't look. We know.
Well, like we talked about Jackson State as an at-large. If we were to falter some kind of way, so the at-large, from an at-large standpoint, it could come into play.
Okay. Well, I guess for this season, I haven't really. I've kind of. It's just an interesting look here at some of the requirements, and I was reading through this, and I was just like, with all the money that's being made, well, even from the NCAA perspective, maybe not at this level, but at the NCAA level, some of what they're asking these schools to pay to bid, you'd almost just rather be a road team and just be like, we'll just go on the road for 4 weeks.
I believe that's by intent. That they don't want the championship at the FCS level to get bigger than the bowl system. So, there's some sabotage in that whole thing.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah.
But also, I mean, I think, at least from what I've read, and you and Jafers or Dr. Cavill can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the bowl system is independent of the NCAA. This is between basketball and FCS football is the highest level championships that they manage. The bowl system is like independent, so all that money.
But they sanction it though.
They sanction it, but they don't. I don't think they get any. They don't get any skim off of it.
No.
Right.
Unless it's for licensing of using the NCAA logo. I don't know, but they're not getting like. It's not like they're getting a piece of the pie that like the SEC gets. Like they're getting a chunk of $20 million from the SEC participating in all those bowl games, or it's like the payout for a conference team.
Right. Okay, let me go to this very quickly because tomorrow, A.D. Sykes is going before the Board of Trustees and she's got a presentation that she's going to be doing. Of course, this was available. This is made public on FAMU.edu. So I just thought I would pull this presentation that's going to be happening tomorrow and touch on a few things that she brings up. I did jot the notes down, fellas, just in case you want to go back and look here. Obviously, the action plan update, the athletics action plan. I don't recall the original action plan, Kelvin. Do you?
What they call an action plan on?
I don't know.
Is that what was put together last year after the compliance debacle?
Yeah, I guess that was part of it.
I don't know. Success achieved, though. As she says, the athletics action plan has demonstrated remarkable success through effective implementation.
What they was gonna say?
I don't know.
That it failed?
Well,
it better have succeed.
Look at the continued progress. The plan remains ongoing in certain key areas. It'd be interesting to note what are those key areas tomorrow.
They ain't gonna go into that kind of detail.
No, they don't go into that kind of detail.
Yeah, there's gonna be a high overview.
Well, I would want someone to ask and say, well, the plan remains ongoing in certain key areas. What are those key areas? All right. I just thought I'd put that out there. Just asking the question. All right. You saw this. Is there anything in this that, Kelvin, you can explain, or do you want to break this down any? This is the revenue budget to actuals as of 9/30/2023. And then there's even, well, I don't know. So it says FY 22-23. So that's the, for year 22-23.
That's this physical year, this athletic physical year.
Okay.
They have the budget they projected.
Okay.
They have, which is the same as the budget. They haven't adjusted at this point anything. So they have the budget for the year, and then then the actuals are the monies that have actually came in thus far. Guarantee games usually 30, 60, 90. You get them a month after they played or 2 months after they played. So, the classic games, you won't get some of that money till later on too. So they're showing what they actually have versus what is projected with this, which, less than 3 months into the calendar year, you're about 40% to your projected revenue. So right now, there's nothing that sticks out that's concerning. They're like their projections are on track.
And then some more. I guess this is in addition to the previous page.
This is the first page. The previous page showed the revenue. This is the expense side of it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was revenue. Expenses showing anything in here. Expenses $10 million. Looks like everything is sort of balanced, I guess.
Well, I mean, your budget and your projections are going to be the same unless you make some adjustments. So what you're looking at is what's been encumbered or actually spent out thus far. And of course, your salaries are a hard number generally. So you take that off the top. Now, some interesting things for me that when I looked at the expense side of it was the mandatory expenses and the debt repayment of athletics. I mean, the debt repayment and the to the foundation in athletics, which I'm assuming is auxiliary actually. I don't know if we're in a position where we should be doing those three things. And I think there's some I believe my position is that there's some discretion we have where we don't. And the board of governors has already came back in April and told us that you can use auxiliary dollars for athletics. So given that new directive, I'm just interested about that. What we paying back to
Is that
ourselves.
here on the?
Yeah, if you look at expense description,
Yeah.
mandatory expenses, from what I understand, probably like the light bill for the athletic only facilities and stuff like that. Those generally are some are mandatories, and that and because you have different pockets that you can use as direct or indirect institutional support, and I would argue that those three things probably fall into one of those categories and would be helpful to the athletic department if they were put in those buckets instead of an expense. Now, I don't know from a reporting standpoint, do they still have to show it as expense? You know, that's not my expertise part, but I would definitely because that's roughly what, about $700,000 that could stay with athletics.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. She mentions the strike tours. I did the numbers just in case. Obviously, you can't see the numbers on the checks here, but the 4 strike tour locations, you had Houston, which is in the top left corner. That's $20,000. Duval, which is the top right corner, that's about 21,000. Now, the bottom right is the Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami-Dade group that brought in $67,572.58. That's what's in that on that check. And then you also have the Tampa, Clearwater, Pinellas County chapter, which $45,000 is what they brought in. That all totals up to $153,572. It's not bad. For a short notice, not a lot of planning in only 4 cities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just imagine if they plan it out and actually make the commitment to go into Orlando, Atlanta. We've talked
Absolutely.
about those, a 10-city tour. Could a 10-city tour pull in? I'm gonna say 500,000, 600,000 even. I think that would be a better number.
Well, I mean, I don't want to shoot numbers out there in the blind, right?
Right.
You got to kind of structure that around what's realistic, and there's some past history as to how much we've generated off these tours. So whatever that number is based on, I think the previous AD, I think his high water mark was about 400,000 maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
And but that was about 3 or 4 more additional cities, and it was it was playing well in advance with the entire university team. So I would I would wonder how these things, event like this would look at the Florida, like at the OBC when we were doing it, and the Florida Classic. I know we have other events that we do, but those other events ain't necessarily raising funds for athletics. I believe when we had homecoming being another opportunity, I think we probably need to do something specific for athletics at our biggest athletic events.
Yeah, I agree. Donate to the Rattler Athletic Fund, blah, blah, blah. That QR code, if you hit that QR code, it will send you to the Rattler Athletic Fund. And, of course, she makes mention of the new hires. Of course, you got Bridget Gordon, who we're still hoping to talk to. Coach Capri Howard, who we did talk to over bowling. Kenneth Lassiter, who's the head athletic trainer. LaDawn Pritchett, who is the director of facilities and operations. And then, of course, you have a couple of assistant coaches from basketball. And then, of course, Doc Gamble, an assistant coach of
Football.
Speaking of, let me see, last thing in the slide presentation, some upcoming events. She makes mention of the SWAC cross-country championships being held in Tallahassee, Appalachia Regional Park, October 23rd. Then you have the state football championships.
All
right
classifications.
there. All class. So 3 days, 8 classifications, is it? I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
And right after the SWAC championship game that we'll be hosting.
Yep. Busy weekends in Tallahassee.
One notable, even though it's not local, I guess one notable mention. I guess she's only mentioning local stuff, so it doesn't matter. I thought it was mentioning all championship games all championship sites because the SWAC championship in volleyball is not listed here, but it won't be in Florida. So
yeah.
Okay, we already did that. Okay. Let me make mention here. One of the things that's also got to get approved in that meeting with AD Sykes is the Coach Gordon contract. The salary has to be approved. So I did pull out some of the more interesting notes from that. I'll be quick here. I know we're up against it. Time to get out. Coach Gordon's contract is a 3-year deal for $125,000 per. The previous coach was $100,000. So it's kind of interesting that Gordon is getting $25K more, and she has just as much experience, maybe less coaching than Shalon Pillow did when she came in. Pillow had about 15 years as an assistant coach. I don't think Gordon's had that many. Neither had coaching experience.
You are what you negotiate.
Yeah. Let's see. So the incentives start with an academic incentive where a coach can get $2,000 for a graduation rate that exceeds 85% based on the NCAA graduation success rate and APR above 90. So, 960. So and I think the team did that last year. I think the team, if you recall, what was the team's APR last year? Wasn't it like 100 or something? Or 1,000?
Who, women's basketball?
Yeah, it was. Who was it? We had a couple sports that hit 1,000.
I mean, they hit their number, but it wasn't that high. I think you thinking about tennis and volleyball.
Okay. Also, now that's the only academic based incentive. Here are some performance incentives. I love this, Kenya. Kenya said maybe she has a better attorney. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Incentives for performance on the court. If FAMU wins the conference regular season championship, she gets $1,000 bonus. If FAMU wins the tournament championship, she gets $2,000. If she wins conference coach of the year, she will get $2,500. If FAMU makes a trip to the women's NIT, that's a $1,000 bonus. And then there is a NCAA tournament fee, tournament bonus of $2,500 for appearing in the tournament. Now, if FAMU were to win, this bonus would supersede the $2,500 to get into that of just getting in, because it's the bonus that is greater. So it's like she can't win multiple NCAA tournament bonuses. You're going to get one or the other. But if you win a game, that's a $5,000 bonus. Each win after is an additional $1,000. If they make it to the Final Four, $15,000 bonus. I feel like these numbers should be a lot higher.
Yeah.
I mean, because really, I mean, hell, if you make
it
it
should
to
be
the Final
prorated based on probability.
probability, thank you.
No, because they have see, y'all speaking as fans.
I
As
know.
as administrator, you got to give realistic, because I'm going to bring it home for you when you finish in terms of all this clause here for all these. So go ahead, finish.
Okay, and the last one, I thought this was interesting. Game guarantees in excess of $50,000, she gets a $5,000 cut. I believe that's each game. So if she gets 4 games and the bonus take home is like 60,000, well, she's getting $5K off of each of those. So again, it's game guarantees in excess of $50,000. There's a $5,000 bonus.
Have no problem with that. I think that's smart. That's a smart way of being able to supplement your salary for your coaches so that you can retain good coaches and kind of compensate them for having to play them beat down games in the first place.
Exactly.
Now, what's the rate for women's basketball in terms of the outer conference games?
Unless you play in Tennessee, I know they'll probably see that, but generally speaking, you're not going to see that unless you play like the top 25, top 10, probably really the top 20 Power 5 schools.
Like a Tennessee, UConn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maryland, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What were you going to add, Kelvin, before we?
Oh, I was just going to say the key to all these incentives are that there's a clause that says if the funding is available. So
yeah, the one thing I didn't see in here was budget for coaches. That's the one thing I didn't see in this contract was budget for coaches or budget any other type of budgetary things. I didn't see that in the contract, which is kind of interesting. Maybe that's standard procedure, but I would figure you would want it in writing. How much of a budget do I have for recruiting and so on and so forth? Maybe that doesn't happen on the women's side.
The previous coach told you they didn't really have a recruiting budget, so I'm not sure if one has been created yet. But I see where EA asked about how much guarantees they're supposed to bring in. I know in previous administrations, I think the number for women's basketball was like $200K, somewhere around there, in guarantees. And the men's
basketball, I didn't see that in the contract.
And in the men's program, it typically was I think it started off at 500 some K, but I think it got up to 600, 625, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
which is why we played 9 beatdown games out of conference.
Yeah, you gotta go make the money somehow. All right, so all of that, I believe she goes before the board of trustees. She being 80 Sykes at 9 in the morning, maybe even 8:30. But you can go to famu.edu and you can do a search for the trustees meeting and you can find that. But it is, I think, first on the agenda tomorrow. All right. Well, I thought since FAMU's on a bye, we would take a bye as well for making picks this week. How about that?
I was ready either way. Good with me.
All right. We'll take a bye this week. All right. Final thoughts, final words, Marcus, here as we get ready to shut it down for tonight.
Good segments this evening. Glad we're able to give Rattler Nation some insight on Jeremy's mom and on 2 players who are playing key roles on this year's team. Do have some information on women's basketball we can save for next week, but the roster is updated.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's another thing that we ran out of time. There was some good stuff there in the article by Gerald Thomas. You can go back and look at. We retweeted it, but if you follow Gerald Thomas, go back and check out his article from the Women's Basketball Media Day. Shout out to Joshua Padilla as well for making the Women's Basketball Media Day a separate day from the men. Giving the women their own day clear of the men, who will be next week. But shout out to Josh or whoever else maybe had a role in making that happen. That was a good idea.
Agreed.
Final words, final thoughts, Kelvin.
Really enjoyed again the show. To echo what Marcus was saying, and the guests, and I'm gonna try to continue to reach out and get more student athletes to come on, and I'm looking forward to supporting another Rattler this weekend. I'm gonna go to Albany State homecoming and try to support Queen Gray as they play Allen University for homecoming.
Hey,
So,
look, quietly, Albany State unbeaten in conference play after taking a couple of bumps on the head to start the season, 4-0 in conference play. Right there in the mix.
They undefeated against HBCUs.
Yeah, okay, I see what you did there. I was like, huh?
Yeah, they undefeated against HBCUs. They lost to Valdosta State and what, North Carolina? What was it, Pembroke or something like that?
Yeah. Yes, Pembroke. You're right. Yep, that's who it was. All right, that's it. Thank you, Tamara T. Thank you, EA. Thank you, everybody who joined the show. Thanks again, Erica Moussa, Kardell Thomas, Lelan Wilhoite. I hope that you'll take a time out of your busy schedule to send them a note of thanks. And I would appreciate all of you if you did one thing for us. Find 3 new friends, 3 Rattlers that don't know about our show, and send them the link. All you got to do is say in a text message or a tweet or a Facebook post, hey, have you heard of the ONG StrikeZone? If they say, no, what's that? Boom, send them the link. That's all you got to do. That's all we ask of you this week. 3 friends, run that by them, and then share the link of the show. Hopefully they will continue or find a way to support us. Everything we do here on the Black College Sports Network. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ONG StrikeZone. You'll also soon be able to find our own YouTube page. Obviously, all of our shows are on the Jericho Broadcast Network's page, but to make it nice and easy for you guys as well, you'll also be able to go to YouTube and find at ONG StrikeZone, just like our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram handle. And all of the shows will be there. So I know sometimes it can maybe be challenging through all of the shows that are on our Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page, but we'll make it simple. And one page dedicated to the ONG Strike Zone is what you'll get. So also go find the BCSN Pod Zone, where you can listen to all of the shows that are part of the Black College Sports Network. You can listen to those on your own time, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, all of that good stuff. So that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you to you guys. For Marcus, for Kelvin, I'm Brian. Fangs up, Rattler Nation. Enjoy the bye week. Hopefully you get over to Daytona and support the Lady Rattler volleyball team, and keep striking hard. And let's get ready to finish off the season on a positive note. Be positive with one another out there, especially the haters when you encounter them. All right, that's going to do it. Peace out, everybody. Fangs up. That way. Strike again. There we go. All right, I'm out.